Pennsylvania Soundbars proudly presenting 2015 Grounds Crew. Keeping the field here at Bethpage Ballpark, the best in the Atlantic League. The Lady Soundbars serving Long Island for over 70 years.
This is Long Island Ducks baseball.
Justin Davies at the plate, the winning run at third. Crowd going nuts. Swung on, bouncing ball left side, off the mitt, up third baseman Brad Strauss. Here comes Willie Rodriguez. Justin Davies has done it again. The Ducks are one quack away from the championship.
Jason Johnson makes the catch. He makes the catch, and the Long Island Ducks have swept the Camden River Sharks. They are the 2004 Atlantic League champions.
Line bunts up the third baseline. Esquivel charging in. They're not going to have a play, and the Ducks are the champions of the Atlantic League here in 2012. Going back is Adam Bailey. He settles under it. He makes the catch. Adam Bailey makes the catch. And for a second straight year, the Atlantic League trophy will reside on Long Island. The Ducks are the Atlantic League champions.
And now it's time for the Long Island Ducks North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital pregame show.
We are live here at Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip, New York. It is time once again for Long Island Ducks baseball. And tonight the Ducks return home to kick off a 7-game homestand as they take on the defending Atlantic League champions, the Lancaster Barnstormers. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Pollock. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play for all of tonight's action as the Ducks look to get back in the win column. It's been a tough week thus far for Long Island after they took 6 of the first 9 games of the season. They dropped 3 in a row up in Bridgeport after losing on Sunday here to the Sugarland Skeeters. They fall in Bridgeport on Tuesday and Wednesday night by wide margins, and then yesterday a 14-inning thriller between the Ferry Cup rivals. But ultimately, it was the Bridgeport Bluefish who came away with the victory 7-6 in 14 innings, the longest extra inning game of the season. So again, my name is Michael Pollock, and thanks so much for joining us here on 103.9 FM LI News Radio, the flagship radio station for Long Island Ducks baseball, and online as well at the Ducks official YouTube channel, youtube.com/DucksBaseball and LIDucks.com. The Ducks enter tonight 6-7 on the young season. This is just their 14th game out of 140 this year. And they sit 1.5 games in back of both Somerset and Bridgeport in the Liberty Division standings. Lancaster, who won their second Atlantic League title a year ago by defeating the Sugarland Skeeters 3-0 in the Atlantic League Championship Series. They have gotten off to a slow start, a bit of a championship hangover for them, as they are just 5-9 through their first 14 games of the season, and they sit 3 games behind in the Freedom Division standings. Sugarland leading the way right now in the Freedom Division at 8-6. So things are tightly contested in the Liberty Division. 4 teams separated by a game and a half. In the Freedom, 4 teams separated by 3 games. And the Ducks are hoping that being back at home will help them get back into the win column here in this young season. It's been a 4-game losing streak for the Ducks, losing 8-4 here in 10 innings last Sunday to the Skeeters, and then losing in Bridgeport Tuesday 10-2, Wednesday 9-0. And then yesterday, despite jumping out to a 5-0 lead, the Bridgeport Bluefish come away with the 7-6 14-inning victory. So we enter tonight's series, a 4-game series, 4 games in the next 36 hours. A day-night doubleheader tomorrow night after tonight's game, and then a 1:35 afternoon affair on Sunday. So lots of action in the next short span of this weekend. And then the Ducks will have a much-needed off day on Monday before they welcome in the Bluefish for 3 games next week. Take a break here on the pregame show. When we come back, we'll go over the highlights from yesterday's game for the Ducks. Again, a 7-6 final in favor of Bridgeport at the ballpark at Harbor Yard.
Hey fans, this is Kevin Byers, manager of the Long Island Ducks, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital in Bayshore is the healthcare heart of our community. We provide outstanding healthcare right here at home with centers of excellence in cardiology, orthopedics, neurosciences, women's health services, and much more. Experience counts, and North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital has been around for nearly a century of care. For more information, please call 631-968-3000 or visit us on the web at www.nslij.com.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Back here at Bethpage Ballpark as the Long Island Ducks and the Lancaster Barnstormers get set to do battle in this game number 1 of a 4-game series here at the Duck Pond. Well, yesterday again was the Ducks and the Bridgeport Bluefish in the finale of a 3-game series up in Bridgeport. The Ducks trying to finish off the series with a win after dropping the first 2, and they would get off to a good start against Scott Main, the pitcher for the Bridgeport Bluefish. Brian Sabatella drew a walk to open the inning. Prentice Redmond followed with a single to left. And then Kevin Byers put an immediate double steal on and put Sabatella at third, Redmond at second. Both stole the base safely, and that brought up Lou Ford. And it's 1-2 to Ford. Breaking ball hit on the ground is short. Charging in is Vargas. His only play is going to be to first. It is in time for the out. Sabatella comes home to score. And on the RBI ground out by Lou Ford, the Ducks strike first and lead 1-0. So Ford, with his 8th run batted in of the year, gave the Ducks a 1-0 lead. Cody Puckett would fly out to right, but John Griffin followed and put the Ducks in front by 2. 1-1. Breaking ball, line into right center field, well hit. Long run for Van Stratton. As he goes back, he won't get it. It's over his head. It'll go all the way to the wall. Redmond will score. Griffin going a second. He will stop right there. And a 2-out RBI double for John Griffin has given the Ducks a 2-0 advantage. So Griffin, with his 8th run batted in of the season, first double, puts the Ducks in front by 2. Ian Marshall threw a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning, and then in the second, Rigi Corona opened the inning with a double. Dan Lyons struck out looking, but Corona would be brought home by Sabatella. Pitch on the way, and Sabatella rips it into left field. Simmons cannot get it. It'll drop in for a base hit. He juggled the ball. Rounding third, Corona, he will come home to score. Sabatella will stop at first with his first hit of the night, and the Ducks now lead 3-0 in the second inning. So Sabatella with the RBI single, his 6th run batted in of the year. Ducks led 3-0. Prentice Redmond grounded into a fielder's choice where Sabatella was caught between second and third. So the Ducks had the runner at first with 2 away, and then they got a couple of big 2-out base hits, the first from Ford. 2-1. Ford swings, lines it into left field. Racing towards the line is James Simmons. He can't get it. It is one hopping off the wall. Redmond on his way to third. Kevin Byers is sending him around as Simmons has trouble with the baseball. Redmond will come home to score without a throw. It's an RBI double for Lou Ford to left. His 2nd run batted in of the day. Another 2-out double for the Ducks, and they lead 4-0. Ford's 4th double of the year gave the Ducks a 4-0 lead, and Cody Puckett made it 5. And the 1-0. Puckett a ground ball to third off the glove of Burrows and into left. Ford is going to round third and come home. Here's the throw to the plate. It is not in time. So Lou Ford scores on the hard ground ball by Cody Puckett that goes off the glove of Sean Burrows, and the Ducks lead it 5-0. So a commanding early lead for the Ducks, and things looked good for Long Island. However, the game would turn in the bottom half of the second inning with 2 out. Wellington Dotel singled to center, stole second, and Ryan Babineau brought him home with an RBI single. That made it 5-1. In the third inning, a 1-out single by Nick Van Stratton, who would steal second. And then 2 batters later, James Simmons brought him home with a 2-out RBI single to right. So it was 5-2 after 3 innings in favor of the Ducks. Fast forward to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Bridgeport would cut it even closer. Luis Rodriguez opened the inning with a single, moved to second on a wild pitch, and after a strikeout and a walk, Sean Burrows an RBI single to right, James Simmons a sac fly to center, and all of a sudden the Ducks' 5-0 lead had been cut to 5-4. Ian Marshall came out after 5 innings. Bruce Kern threw a 1-2-3 6th inning, but in the 7th for Bridgeport, Amalio Diaz was the pitcher, gave up a leadoff single to Luis Rodriguez, who was sacrificed to second. Moved to third on a grounder to short from Nick Van Stratton. The Ducks intentionally walked Sean Burrows to face Rodney Polonia, who had come into the game for defensive purposes. However, with 2 strikes and 2 out in the inning, Diaz threw a wild pitch off the glove of Jose Morales. A run came home to score, and just like that, the game was tied at 5. Now, the Ducks offense really could not get going from that point on. From the 3rd inning through the 10th inning, they could not get a single hit against the Bluefish pitching staff. Meanwhile, Bridgeport rallied in both the 9th and the 10th innings. However, Ryan Cushmall got out of jams both times. And in the top half of the 11th inning with one out, Regi Corona singled to right, and that brought up Dan Lyons. 0-1 runner bluffs, and Lyons rips this one into left center field. Long run, not able to get it is Rosa. This will go into the gap. Corona on his way to third. Kevin Baez sending him around third. Rosa throws into the shortstop. The relay to the plate is not going to be made as Corona slides in safely. It's an RBI double for Dan Lyons, and the Ducks take the lead 6-5. So the Ducks had a 6-5 lead. They eventually ruled that it was a double and the run scored on an error, so no RBI for Lyons. However, the Ducks had what looked to be the winning run. But in the bottom half of the 11th inning, Luis Rodriguez opened up the inning, popped out to left, or so the Ducks thought. Evan Crawford dropped the ball in left field along the line, and that set the stage for Ildemaro Vargas, who delivered an RBI double to left. That tied the game up immediately at 6. The Bluefish ended up loading the bases with no out, but they could not score. Ducks got the leadoff man on in the 12th and the 13th, could not bring him home. And then in the bottom of the 14th with one out, Matt Soren on the mound. John Alonso singled to center, Wellington Dotel singled to right, and then Ryan Babineau hit what looked to be an inning-ending double play ball. However, the throw from Corona at second to Griffin at first was low. It got past Griffin. Alonso came home with the winning run, and Bridgeport won it 7-6. Sam Gervasio got the win in relief to improve to 1-1. Matt Soren, the loss, fell to 0-1, no save. The game took 4 hours and 24 minutes up at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. So the Ducks will try and end a 4-game losing skid tonight as they get set to take the field here at Bethpage Ballpark and face the Lancaster Barnstormers. We'll take a break. When we come back, starting lineups, pitching matchup, and the first pitch between Long Island and Lancaster.
Hey fans, this is Bud Harrelson, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital in Bayshore is the healthcare heart of our community. We provide outstanding healthcare right here at home with centers of excellence in cardiology, orthopedics, neurosciences, women's health services, and much more. Experience counts, and North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital has been around for nearly a century of care. For more information, please call 631-968-3000 or visit us on the web at www.nslij.com.
Few places on earth offer the charm and excitement of Fire Island. At Fire Island Ferries, located conveniently at 99 Maple Avenue in Bayshore, they offer convenient travel to Fire Island 7 days a week. Fire Island is quickly becoming a top destination for families of all ages. Experience the informal, carefree communities, the dazzling night scene, enjoy fine dining, or climb to the top of one of the tallest lighthouses in the United States. But there's only one way to get there, by calling Fire Island Ferries at 631-665-3600 today. For fare and scheduling information, please visit fireislandferries.com.
With tonight's national anthem here at Bethpage Ballpark. A terrific job as always. And before the game here tonight, the Ducks held a moment of silence for slain officer, NYPD officer Brian Moore, who was laid to rest today here on Long Island. A nice moment of silence. The flags out in right field flying at half staff to remember the former NYPD officer Brian Moore. Well, the Ducks will send out left-handed pitcher Eric Neeson to the mound tonight. He is taking his warm-ups and will make his third start of the year, 0-1 record, 2.45 ERA thus far in his first season as a full-time starter. He's going to be opposed by right-hander Brian Evans, who is making his fourth start of the year. Originally it was scheduled to be Chucky Fick, but instead it is Brian Evans who will go. And Evans 1-2 with a 3.60 earned run average thus far this season. As for tonight's starting lineup for the Lancaster Barnstormers, who are managed by Butch Hobson, and again they are the defending Atlantic League champions. Leading off in left field is Yusuke Kajimoto. Batting second and playing third base is Tyler Bortnick. In the three-hole is the center fielder Blake Galen, a longtime Barnstormer. And in the cleanup spot, the designated hitter, Henry Wrigley. Batting fifth, playing first base, David Cooper. Brian Cavazos Galvez is in right field and hits sixth. Keith Castillo will do the catching and bat seventh. Lance Zawatsky is the shortstop. He will hit eighth. And rounding out the order is the second baseman, Michael Broad. On the other side for Kevin Byers is Long Island Ducks. Brian Sabatello leading off in right field. Prentice Redmond, the designated hitter, he will bat second. Lou Ford is the center fielder and three batter. And in the cleanup spot for the Ducks is the third baseman, Cody Puckett. Batting fifth, playing first base is John Griffin. Reggie Corona moves up to the number 6 spot and is the second baseman. Newcomer Dylan Haupt is doing the catching tonight for Long Island and batting seventh. Hitting in the 8th spot in left field is Eric Komatsu, and rounding out the order for the Ducks is the shortstop, and that is Dan Lyons. So the Ducks are looking to get back into the win column here, as they have dropped 4 consecutive games overall. And for Long Island, an early losing streak that they want to end as quickly as possible. So up to the plate steps Yusuke Kajimoto, the left fielder and leadoff hitter. Lancaster has lost 3 in a row, losing all 3 games to the York Revolution over the weekend, earlier this week, excuse me. First pitch on the way from Eric Neeson to Yusuke Kajimoto. It's missed outside for ball 1. We are underway on this Friday night. So we begin at 6:36 p.m. The 1-0. Fastball just missed upstairs for ball 2. 67 degrees, the game time temperature. A perfect night for baseball. 2-0. And that is over the inside corner for a called strike. So the count 2-1, wall-to-wall sunshine overhead as the sun continues to set beyond the third base stands. Lights are on here at Bethpage Ballpark. And the 2-1, breaking ball, outside corner for another called strike. And that'll even up the count at 2-2. Kajimoto, 9 hits in his first 52 at-bats this season. He has driven in 1 run and has scored 5, struggling in the early going for a guy who primarily played second base last year for Lancaster. 2-2 from Neeson. Breaking ball fouled off to the first base side, out of play. Crowd continuing to file in here on this Friday night. There have been some reports of some bad traffic in the area on Sunrise Highway, right near the ballpark, so that causing a bit of congestion getting here to the ballpark tonight. 2-2. Kajimoto takes the fastball inside. That runs the count full. Wind right now, not much to speak of at all. The flag's out in right field, barely moving. A calm evening for baseball. And the 3-2 to Kajimoto, upstairs for ball 4. Not the start Eric Neeson was walking for, as Yusuke Kajimoto draws the inning opening walk, his 7th walk of the season.
Batting in the second position, Barnstormers third baseman, number 3, the Pizza Hut K-Man, Tyler Bortnick.
So up to the plate steps Tyler Bortnick. Bortnick will bat from the right side. Bortnick in his first year here with the Barnstormers. Tonight he is the Pizza Hut K-Man, so if he strikes out against Eric Neeson at any point or against any Ducks pitcher, fans here will win an order of free breadsticks from Pizza Hut. First pitch, Bortnick takes low. And the count 1-0. So again, for Eric Neeson, new catcher that he is working with here in Dylan Haupt, who was signed today by the Ducks. Signed and activated both Dylan Haupt and right-handed pitcher Nick Struck. So 2 new faces to the Ducks roster on this Friday. Now the 1-0 pitch to Bortnick, way up and outside from Neeson. Behind 2-0, and that's going to bring Dylan Haupt out to the mound and have a quick chat with the left-hander. Well, the Ducks' starting rotation had been fantastic entering the series in Bridgeport. But Mickey Janis did not have his best stuff on Tuesday night, battled through and kept the Ducks in the game. Ultimately, the Ducks bullpen allowed Bridgeport to widen the gap. And then on Wednesday night, John Brownell did not have his best stuff. And on Thursday, Ian Marshall got a 5-0 lead and gave up 4 runs in just 5 innings of work. So the bullpen has been used quite a bit of late, and Kevin Baez says that he's very thin down in the bullpen for today's game. Ducks used all but 2 relievers last night. The 2-0, and Neeson takes up and outside for ball 3. The Ducks left-hander, after walking Yusuke Kajimoto, has fallen behind on Tyler Bortnick, 3-0. Kajimoto leads at first, and the 3-0 pitch is upstairs for ball 4. So back-to-back walks allowed by Eric Neeston to open up tonight's game. That's the 5th walk given up, 5th walk drawn by Bortnick this season. And here is the always dangerous Blake Galen, one of the best hitters in Barnstormers history, who after putting together great years in 2012 and 2013, finally got to taste the champagne last year with Lancaster and helping the Barnstormers win their 2nd ever league championship. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch is a breaking ball, low and outside. Another ball from Neeson, who has now missed on 6 straight pitches. Check that, make that 7 straight. And the 1-0 is a fastball over the outside corner for a called strike. That'll leave the count at 1-1. Galen 17 for his first 53. That's a .321 average, 2 home runs, and 9 runs batted in. Runners lead from first and second with no out. And the 1-1 way up and inside for ball 2. One problem for Neeson as in his Ducks career when he was a reliever was that he walked a few too many batters. This year he's done a good job of limiting that. Just 2 walks through 11 innings thus far entering tonight. But 2 walks early on, and now a 2-1 pitch to Galen. Breaking ball, that's in there for a strike. And the count 2-2. Frank Leparek is the home plate umpire tonight. Over at first base, Mario Rosas. And Tony Senya is over at third. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count here on Blake Galen. Eric Neeson set to go, working out of the stretch. And the 2-2. Fastball fouled back to the screen behind home plate. Galen was just able to fight off a piece of it. And so we'll do it once again at 2-2. Ducks are in their alternate orange jerseys here tonight with the brand new white caps that features the LI logo on the front. Neeson looks to second. 2-2. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. Neeson dialed up with a hard fastball over the inside corner. First strikeout for Neeson on the night. And a big out there to retire the always dangerous Blake Galen. So now with 1 out, runners at first and second. And here is Henry Wrigley, the DH and cleanup hitter. Neeson now with a double play ball could get out of trouble. Barnstormers in the road gray jerseys with Barnstormers in block lettering on the front. Red lettering, red number on the back. And the first pitch in for a called strike. And the count 0-1 on Wrigley, who is 10 for his first 44. That's a .227 average. And he's got 2 runs batted in, 4 runs. Newcomer to the Barnstormers, who have a bunch of newcomers in their lineup. Neeson ready to deal 0-1. And Wrigley lines this one past second into right field, a base hit. Kajimoto will round third. He'll try and score. Sabatello will throw it back in a second base, and safe there is Bortnick. It's an RBI single to right for Henry Wrigley. And the Barnstormers on the scoreboard. They lead it 1-0. Well, inning opening walks will kill you. And that's what Eric Neeson figured out there as he allows the opposite field RBI single to Wrigley, his 3rd one batted in of the year. And Kajimoto, who walked to open the game, comes home to score to put Lancaster in front. So up to the plate steps David Cooper, the first baseman. He'll hit from the left side against Neeson. Left-hander comes set. Runners lead at first and second. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball that missed below the knees for ball 1. Ducks had been 5-3 when they scored first in games entering yesterday, and they jumped into a 5-0 lead yesterday, but saw that lead evaporate and saw the Bluefish come away with the win. The 1-0. Low and outside, and Easton behind here. 2 balls and no strikes. Left-hander already with 21 pitches here in this inning, just 9 of them for strikes. And Easton falling behind in counts consistently in the early going. 2-0 on the way. That's low. It gets through the legs of Hopt and goes back to the backstop. And the runners will go to second and third. And Easton wild throughout the course of this first inning. A wild pitch here. Puts him behind 3-0 on Cooper. And Bordnick will move to third, and Wrigley moves down to second. Well, again, Kevin Maya said it before the game. He cannot afford to go to his bullpen early here today, as his bullpen very, very thin tonight after using almost everybody in the pen yesterday. 3-0, and there's a breaking ball in for a strike to count 3-1. So Neeson's going to have to find a way to pitch through this and get his accuracy under control here in this game. The Ducks already trailing 1-0. It'll be a 3-1 here to Cooper. Infield plays straight away. Kicking the pitch, and Cooper swings and fouls this one off to the third base side of home plate. And the count 3-2. And it will be right-hander Brian Evans going for the Barnstormers. Chucky Fick was scheduled to pitch today. Instead was a late scratch. The first game for Lancaster against a Liberty Division opponent this year. Payoff pitch. Cooper takes a breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 3. So Neeson battles back from being down 3-0 and picks up his second strikeout of the game. And with 2 away, that'll leave it up to Brian Cavazos Galvis.
Right fielder number 31, Brian Cavazos Galvis, number 31.
Lancaster this year 3-2 when they scored the first run of the game. And the first pitch ripped down the left field line, but this will hook foul into the Smokin' Owls party deck. And the count goes to 0-1 on Cavazos Galvis, who is at 13 for 52 on the year and has 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. Ducks, when they give up the first run of the game, are 1-3. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good pitch diving down and in, and Cavazos Galvis swung through it. So the count 0-2. And Neeson 1 strike away from getting out of the inning relatively unhurt with just 1 run allowed. We'll see if he can get Cavazos Galvis here. Left-hander comes set. And the 0-2 just missed the outside corner on a fastball. Now the count goes to 1-2 strikes. First 1,000 fans in attendance tonight received part 1 of the 6-part 2015 Collector Series, a Ducks pin pennant. Now the 1-2, low. Good check swing by Cavazos Galvis. That'll even up the count. It's a pennant featuring the Ducks logo and spaces for 5 different pins, which are going to be given out during the course of the month of May, honoring greats in Ducks history. 5 different jersey numbers with the names on the back of the jerseys that are featured on these pins. 2-2. Breaking ball missed up high, and Cavazos Galvis has worked the count from 0-2 to 3-2. So Neeston trying to get him to chase, he would not. Keith Castillo, the former Duck, waiting in the on-deck circle. Runners at second and third, 2 out. The Barnstormers with an early 1-0 advantage. Neeson comes set, and the payoff pitch. Breaking ball popped up, foul behind the plate. Dylan Hopt looking back towards the crowd. This will bounce and hit up just off to our right here in the press box behind home plate. Hit into a row of seats and then bounced up and hit the windows just off to our right. So we'll have another payoff pitch coming here to Cavazos Galvis. He's driven in 5 runs this year. Bornick leads at third, Wrigley at second, and the 3-2 popped up again, this time on the infield. Hopt and Puckett converging. Hopt tosses away the mask, and he'll make the catch on his knees in foul territory along the third base line for the final out of the inning. So for the Barnstormers, they ultimately only get 1 run on 1 hit and 2 walks, no errors and 2 left on base. Through a half inning here at Bethpage Ballpark, it is the Barnstormers 1 and the Ducks coming to bat.
Hey fans, this is outfielder and hitting coach Lou Ford, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
Beautify your patio, walkway, driveway, or pool surround with Nicoloc paving stones and walls. Nicoloc's specially formulated Paver Shield offers extra surface wear protection and color enhancement throughout the thickness of the paver. Paver Shield guarantees that your pavers will look great for years to come. Bring home the elegance with Nicoloc. Visit the Nicoloc Design Center, Sunrise Highway, Lindenhurst, or Nicoloc.com.
Let Nicoloc pavers pave your way.
Enjoy the ultimate VIP fan experience at Bethpage Ballpark this season by taking in a Ducks game from the brand new Trout Town Fan Can. Presented by Roscoe Beer Company, the Fan Can is available for rental at all Ducks home games. It features 12 Dream Seat theater-style padded seats, beverage holders, an air-conditioned atmosphere, and an incredible view of the game. Packages are now available with food and beverage included. To reserve your Fan Can outing today, call the Ducks Group Sales Department at 631-940-3825. The Trout Town Fan Can at Bethpage Ballpark. Your VIP experience has arrived. Well, a rocky start for Ducks left-hander Eric Neeson, but all things considered, minimal damage. He allows just one run, despite walking the first two hitters of the game. Allowing just a one run on the RBI single by Henry Wrigley. So we go to the bottom of the first inning with Lancaster leading Long Island 1-0. The Ducks and Municipal Credit Union have teamed up again this season to present the Walk with a Purpose promotion. Every time a Long Island Ducks player walks, Municipal Credit Union will make a donation to the Quacker Jack Foundation. Municipal Credit Union serving members since 1916. So Brian Sabatella will come to the plate to lead things off for the Ducks. Sabatella will then be followed by Prentice Redmond and Lou Ford as the first three hitters in the Ducks lineup. So here is Brian Evans taking to the mound, heavy bearded right-hander, and the first pitch on the way is a fastball in for a strike, the count 0-1. Sabatella 13 hits in his first 55 at-bats. It's a .236 average. He has a home run and 6 runs batted in. Here's the 0-1. And Sabatella takes a curveball inside, even the count at 1-1. Kevin Byers saying before yesterday's game, as Sabatella goes, the Ducks will go. And he got red hot here at home last week, cooled off a bit on the road. The 1-1, ripped in the air to center field, well hit. Long run for Blake Galen, still going back in right center field, reaches up, he can't. Will go towards the wall. Sabatella will cruise in a second and stop right there. Leadoff double for Brian Sabatella, who has now reached base safely in 9 consecutive games. Fourth double of the year for Sabatella, who hit that one well to right center, and Blake Galen, the center fielder, was shaded over towards left center for the righty hitter and made a good run and effort. He has great speed, but just missed getting to it. And so Sabatella with a leadoff double, and the Ducks trying to respond right back and at least tie this ball game up at 1 apiece. Here's Prentice Redmond, designated hitter and two-batter batting from the right side. Evans will come set. And his first pitch to Redmond was a fastball that missed below the knees for ball 1. Redmond with the Ducks and the Bluefish, 6 for 27 to start the year. He has 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. Sabatella with great speed at second. He leads the Atlantic League in the early going with 5 stolen bases in 7 attempts. Started to go to third, then stopped, and Redmond here grounds one towards the middle. The shortstop Zawatsky will pick it up, throw to first. It's in time for the out, but Redmond does his job in moving Sabatella over to third. And now a fly ball could tie this game up at 1 apiece.
Hitting in the third position for the Long Island Ducks, here's the center fielder, number 20, Lou Ford, number 20.
So up to the plate steps Lou Ford, number 3 hitter batting from the right side, who has gotten off to a bit of a slow start this year, but a chance to take over the team lead in runs batted in if he can bring home Brian Sabatella here. First pitch on the way. Fastball is in for a strike. And I'm now corrected here as he had 9 RBIs. I thought he was tied, but he's actually 1 ahead of both Cody Puckett and John Griffin. So he is the team leader in runs batted in by just 1. And drove in 2 runs yesterday up in Bridgeport. 0-1 from Evans. And Ford swings, lines this one into left field for a base hit. Sabatella will trot home from third. RBI single for Lou Ford, and the Ducks respond right back and tie the game in the bottom of the first inning at 1. 10th RBI of the season for Lou Ford as he fisted that one out over the glove of Lance Sawatsky at short. So Ford with the RBI single, 14th hit of the year, and the Ducks have not had to score 1 apiece.
Cody Puckett, number 2.
So for the second straight game, the Ducks get a run at least in the first inning, and that'll bring Cody Puckett to the plate, and he will bat from the right side. Ducks with a righty-heavy lineup again here today, even though there is a righty on the mound. You have the switch hitter in Corona and the lefty hitter in Komatsu. Everybody else a righty hitter. First pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. Puckett 15 for 53, 283 batting average. 4 home runs, which still leads the Atlantic League, and he has driven in 8 runs. Ford will take his lead at first. He has good speed. And the 1-0 from Evans. Swung on and ripped into center field. Galen right there, though. He'll make the catch. And Cody Puckett hit that ball hard, but he hit it right at Blake Galen for the second out. It's the worst feeling as a hitter when you hit the ball as hard as you possibly can, and unfortunately it goes right to where an outfielder is standing. Or when you hit the ball very hard and it looks like it's going to be a home run off the bat, but it's held up in the wind or hit to the wrong part of the ballpark where it stays in the yard. And you do exactly what you're taught to do, and right there Puckett hitting it right back through the box and hitting it hard, but he hit it right at Blake Galen in center. Here's John Griffin, first pitch, fastball misses low and outside for ball 1. Griffin struggling in the early going, just 7 hits in his first 48 at-bats. That's a 146 average. He has 2 home runs and 8 runs batted in, but he's also struck out 19 times. Ford will lead it first with 2 away. Evans comes set. Now the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Cut through the fastball, and the count even up at 1-1. 19 strikeouts, leads the Atlantic League. 2 more than Evan Crawford of the Ducks, Danny Almonte of the Skeeters, and James Simmons of the Bluefish. So it'll be a 1-1 pitch here to Griffin. Evans ready to deal to Keith Castillo, the former Duck. On the 1-1. Swinging a tapper out in front of home plate. The pitcher Evans will field, and he will throw to first in time for the out. And so Griffin retired on the ground now. That'll end the inning. However, the Ducks respond right away. They get a run on 2 hits. No errors. They leave 1. And after 1 inning of play, we are all knotted at 1 here at Bethpage Ballpark.
Hey fans, this is right-handed pitcher John Brownell, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Start by attending a free MCU home buying seminar. Then speak with one of our loan specialists who will guide you through the loan process. With an affordable mortgage from Municipal Credit Union, Home Sweet Home will be a little sweeter. Call 212-238-3521 or visit nymcu.org to apply for your mortgage today. Municipal Credit Union. Strong, trusted, growing. Municipal Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender.
Take your group out to the ball game this season and enjoy all the fun of Ducks baseball at discounted prices with the Hebrew National Picnic Area, luxury suites, the Smokin' Owls Party Deck, the Trout Town Fan Can, and so much more. Bringing your group to the game will be an unforgettable experience. The Ducks even offer opportunities to sing the national anthem, serve as the Ridgewood Savings Bank color guard, be the Nicolak Dream Team, put on a pregame performance, or shag fly balls during Ducks batting practice. To book your outing today, call 631-940-3825 and ask for the group sales department. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
Lou Ford's RBI single to left in the bottom of the first inning ties up this ball game at 1. We go to the second in the opening game of this 4-game series between the Ducks and the Barnstormers. Time for the Ducks Health Report, which is brought to you by Island Shore Physical Therapy, the official therapists of the Long Island Ducks. Mark Rogers has been out with an Achilles injury that he suffered during the opening road trip of the season in Southern Maryland. However, He is scheduled to come off the inactive list tomorrow and will start the second game of the day-night doubleheader tomorrow at Bethpage Ballpark. That'll begin at 6:35. The day game, which is going to start at 1:05, will feature right-hander Bruce Kern getting the start and kind of a bullpen by committee deal for the Ducks in the first game of the day-night doubleheader, which will be a 7-inning game. Former Duck Keith Castillo at the plate takes upstairs for ball 1. So the day game will be 7 innings, the night game 9 innings. And the 1-0 to Castillo is in for a strike at the belt, the count 1-1. So that is good news that Rogers will come off of the inactive list. However, Sergio Perez is still out with an oblique injury as Castillo takes low for ball 2. Initially it was said that it was his side that was bothering him, oblique side, kind of the same thing there, but he's still being hampered by it, so not able to start for the Ducks. The 2-1, ground ball here to short. Dan Lyons on 2 hops will field, throw to first, right on the money. And Keith Castillo retired for the first out here in the second inning. A couple other small little nagging injuries, but nothing major. Eric Kamatu in the lineup tonight. He's still being slightly bothered by the wrist injury, but he's able to play. Blake Davis still with the groin issue, but available off the bench for the Ducks. So none of those of any concern, really, for Long Island. Lancaster right now has one player out on the disabled list. That is outfielder Jerry Owens. As the first pitch to Lance Sawatsky is a fastball strike. As Jerry Owens suffered a broken hand diving for a baseball on opening night down in Sugar Land, Texas. 0-1, popped up foul, third base side out of play. That came in the third inning of that game, according to Barnstormers broadcaster Dave Collins, and what an awful way to start the year. Third inning, you're going after a baseball in the outfield. The next thing you know, you've got a broken hand and are out long term. 0-2 to Sawatsky, who hits from the left side, and he swings and misses for strike 3, chasing the breaking ball down low. So a much better start to the second inning for Neeson as he gets a ground out by Castillo and a strikeout of Sawatsky. Third strikeout for Neeson and 2 away quickly for the Ducks left-hander here in the second. And again, we mentioned earlier the Ducks signing 2 players today. Catcher Dylan Haupt, who's in the starting lineup tonight for Long Island, and right-handed pitcher Nick Struck, who is available out of the bullpen for the Ducks. First pitch is taken low by Michael Broad, who is making his season debut. Anthony Vega, in a corresponding move, placed on the inactive list. He's healthy, though. And the 1-0 is in for a strike at the belt. Good fastball, the count 1-1. And obviously the Ducks will need to make a move tomorrow when they activate Mark Rogers from the inactive list. 1-1 is a breaking ball that just missed the inside corner for ball 2. We'll see if that means Sergio Perez goes on the inactive list since he's still being bothered by the oblique strain, or if somebody else will go on the IL. 2-1 the count here on Broad, who bats from the right side, and the second baseman takes a curveball at the belt for a strike. And Neeson 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 second inning. Broad last year spent time in 2 different independent leagues, the United League with San Angelo and the American Association with Amarillo. Hit .215 with 6 homers, 27 runs batted in. And he lines the 2-2 towards the right side and through. It's a fair ball, base hit. Broad will round first. Ball picked up by Sabatella. And Broad will hold at first base. So a 2-out single to right by the 9-hitter Michael Broad. His first hit as a Barnstormer.
Back to the top of the order for the Barnstormers, left fielder, number 1, Yusuke Kajimoto, number 1.
So with a runner at first and 2 away, here's Yusuke Kajimoto. And Butch Hobson will get the baseball and fire it in to the dugout. So that way Michael Broad can keep the baseball of his first ever Atlantic League hit. And here's Yusuke Kajimoto, who drew the inning opening walk, the game opening walk in the first against Neeson, and eventually scored on the RBI single by Henry Wrigley. First pitch, fastball, in for a called strike. And the count 0-1. Kajimoto is a returner from a year ago. Again, has 9 hits in his first 52 at-bats. 0-1. Slashed foul, first base side, up into the sweet level, and then it rebounds back down below. And the count 0-2. Last year, Kajimoto, a .283 batting average in his first season here in the United States, had 4 homers, 36 runs batted in, but he compiled 105 hits and scored 66 runs. He was a very productive player for the Barnstormers, and this is his first Atlantic League season last year. So with 2 down and an 0-2 count, Kajimoto will try and keep the inning alive. Neeson will try and get out of it. Now the 0-2. Fastball is taken low. And the count goes to 1-2. Born in Osaka, Japan, now resides in Tokyo during the offseason. Spent 7 years in the Japanese Central League before coming over here to America. 1-2, runner goes from first. The pitch is a half swing on a ball diving down and in. They appeal to first, and Mario Rosas says that he went around for strike 3. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Neeson. He has 4 in the game, and that'll put an end to the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, we are tied at 1 here at the Duck Pond.
Hey fans, this is shortstop Dan Lyons, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
The results are in. Thousands of PSEG Long Island customers.
A commemorative birthday t-shirt and autographed baseball, a pizza and Kona ice party in the Hebrew National Picnic area, and so much more. Best of all, the birthday child will stand on the dugout while the entire crowd sings happy birthday. Reserve your party today by calling the group sales department at 631-940-3825. Kona Ice birthday parties with the Long Island Ducks, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Through the first 14 games of the season for them. First pitch on the way to Rigi Corona is a breaking ball that drops in for strike 1. Corona, a switch hitter batting from the left side, has been red hot of late. 6 consecutive games he has picked up a hit and had 3 hits in yesterday's game. Here's the 0-1, and Corona takes low and inside, and that'll even up the count against Brian Evans, who again is making his 4th start of the season for Lancaster. He is 1-2 to this point with a 3.60 earned run average. 1-1 on the way to Corona. Breaking ball just caught a piece of the outside corner for a strike. And the count goes to 1-2. Lancaster 2-5 on the road this season. The Ducks 2-1 here at home. It's just their 4th home game after playing 10 of the first 13 away from the Duck Pond. Evans from the wind and the 1-2 to Corona. Breaking ball popped up in the air to shallow right field. Going out is the second baseman, coming in the right fielder, and it is Brian Cavazos Galvez, the right fielder, who will make the catch for the first out. And as you mentioned, this is the first Liberty Division matchup for the Barnstormers this year. All 9 of their games so far have been, 14 of their games, have come against Freedom Division opponents. Ducks are 6-4 against the Freedom Division, 0-3 against their own division, of course, with the 3-game sweep by the Bluefish this week. So up to the plate steps Dylan Haupt for his first Ducks at bat after he was signed today, and he swings at the first pitch, and little dribbler, third base side of the mound. Third baseman Bortnick picks it up. His throw to first just in time to retire Dylan Haupt for the second out. So slow roller. It looked like it was going to be right in the perfect spot for Haupt, as it was too far for Evans to get it, and looked like it was going to be too close to home plate or to the mound for Bortnick to get it. But Bortnick was able to get to the ball and fire a strike to first for the out. So a quick first at bat for Haupt, and now a 2-away. That'll leave it up to Eric Kamatsu. Both teams scoring a run in the first, but nothing after that. And the first pitch to Kamatsu is a breaking ball that missed low from Evans for ball 1. Last time Evans took the mound for the Barnstormers was on Sunday when he faced the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and he picked up his first win of the year in a 7-0 victory. This one, a breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Evans allowed 3 hits and 2 walks in 7 innings of work, struck out 6 batters in his best start of the young season. Kamatsu here takes a curveball low. It got away from Castillo at the plate. And so the count goes to 2-1. Kamatsu just 3 hits in his first 26 at-bats. A 115 average, no homers and 1 run batted in. 2-ball, 1-strike pitch from the righty. Kicks and deals, and Kamatsu swings, grounds this one to the right side, and it gets past the right fielder Cooper for a base hit. That'll be a single to right for Eric Komatsu. Third hit of the game for the Ducks. Tough play there for the first baseman, David Cooper. Ball didn't really bounce up to make a convenient hop for him. Instead, it kind of hit the ground and stayed down underneath his glove, and it was hard for him to get that glove down. So Komatsu with his 4th hit of the year. And now a runner at first with 2 away. That'll bring Dan Lyons up to the plate. Shortstop, a 9-hitter, batting from the right side. Evans now works out of the stretch. And the first pitch on the way. Lyons takes a fastball for a strike over the outside corner. 8 hits in his first 41 at-bats. He has 4 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. A couple of doubles as well. Komatsu leads at first, and now the 0-1. Kicking the pitch, and Lyons takes a curveball that just missed outside. Good tight curveball from the right-hander Brian Evans, but just missed. So that'll leave up the count at 1-1 on Lyons, who thought he had the hit that would win the game for the Ducks yesterday in the 11th. A double to the left center field gap. Reggie Corona ended up scoring on the play to give the Ducks a 6-5 lead. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Chase the breaking ball down low. And the count 1-2. Unfortunately for Lyons and for the Ducks, the Bluefish rallied back, taking advantage of an error in the bottom of the 11th on the drop pop-up by Evan Crawford. And then 3 innings later in the 14th, a throwing error by Reggie Corona on what would have been an inning-ending double play ball. Scored John Alonzo from second and gave the Bluefish the 7-6 win. Komatsu leads at first with 2 down. Evans a long wait on the mound, and now time called. Evans was trying to see if Komatsu was going to break from first, but he did not go. And Lyons eventually called time. Long look in here for the burly right-hander. Gets the pitch he likes. And here comes the 1-2 offering. Komatsu bluffs, and Lyons rips this one down the left field line, but it'll hook foul. Well-struck ball that went over the infield down the left field line, but it went just to the left of the chalk. So we'll do it once again with the count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. If Lyons reaches, Brian Sabatella will be next. Ducks and the Barnstormers tied at 1, bottom of the 2nd inning. Evans another long look in here to Keith Castillo, now is ready. And the 1-2, runner goes, and Lyons hits this one towards short, caught by Lance Sawatsky on the line. And that'll end the inning. So the Ducks get a 2-out base hit from Eric Komatsu, but nothing further. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on base. And through 2 here at Bethpage Ballpark, the Ducks and the Barnstormers are tied at 1.
Hey fans, this is left-handed pitcher Eric Neeson, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
James Simmons is going back. He is looking up, and on the Park Night, that one is gone and reaches a kennel in Central Islip.
That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
On to the 3rd inning here at Bethpage Ballpark. Ducks and the Barnstormers knotted up at 1 here in the early going. Fans discover the difference at Huntington Honda and find Long Island's all-star lineup of over 1,200 new Hondas. Huntington Honda steps up to the plate to treat every customer with no pressure, respect, and Grand Slam service after the sale. Discover the difference in a winning buying experience at HuntingtonHondaCars.com and then visit Huntington Honda on Jericho Turnpike just east of Route 110. 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Lancaster. It's Tyler Bortnick to lead off. And the first pitch is ripped in the air to left field towards the line, back to the pole. And this will hook foul. And the count 0-1. Well, tonight is a foul pole Friday here at Bethpage Ballpark. So if a Ducks player, a select Ducks player, which tonight it's Prentice Redmond, hits a home run off of either foul pole, one fan will win $50,000. 0-1, and Bortnick takes outside, even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bortnick is also the Pizza Hut K-Man here on this Friday night, so the fans hoping he will strike out. The 1-1 from Neeson, swung on it, fouled, back behind the plate, and so the count 1-2, and the fans getting more excited here as one more strike would lead to a free order of breadsticks at a participating Pizza Hut location. So Neeson will look in for the sign from Dylan Haupt. Kicks and fires, and Bortnick swings and fouls it off to the first base side, back into the seats. Ballpark is filled in nicely here on this Friday night. It is a beautiful night for baseball, so lots of fans coming here possibly last minute, but again, there was a lot of traffic nearby, and that might have caused some delays in getting in. The 1-2, breaking ball, missed up and away. Leaving the count at 2-2 on Bortnick, who drew a walk in the first inning. He has 12 hits in his first 50 at-bats with a home run and 6 runs batted in. Neeson comes set from the wind. His 2-2 is upstairs on a fastball. Well, after getting ahead early, the count now 3-2. Blake Galen waiting on deck. He'll be followed then by Henry Wrigley, who's driven in the only run for Lancaster. And a fastball missed up and inside by Neeson, and Bortnick has walked for the second time in this game. So he got ahead in the count of 1-2, but Neeson could not get strike 3. Third walk given up by the left-hander. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Blake Galen. So here's Galen to the plate from the left side. He struck out swinging his first time up, one of 4 strikeouts for Neeson. First pitch on the way, and Galen will take low and outside for ball 1. Galen has 17 hits in his first 54 at-bats. A returner here to this Barnstormer team from a year ago. 1-0, way up and inside. That one looked like it slipped out of the hand of Neeson. Fortunately for Galen, it didn't hit him. The count 2-0. Last year, spent time both in Lancaster and in Tijuana in the Mexican League. With Lancaster 350 average, 18 home runs, 52 runs batted in. On the 2-0, low and outside, Neeson having trouble finding the strike zone again. Very similar to his first inning when he got to a full count on the leadoff hitter, walked him, and then walked the next batter on 4 straight pitches, and he might do that for his second time here, unless he can find the strike zone against Blake Galen. 3-0, now that's way upstairs, ball 4. So for the second time in this game, Eric Neeson has walked back-to-back hitters to lead off an inning. And now 4 walks from the left-hander, and that's going to bring Marty Jansen out of the dugout. I believe that is already the second visit as a defensive timeout for the Ducks. Dylan Haupt went out to talk to him in the first inning, and now Marty Jansen does so again here in the third. And again, the Ducks cannot afford to have Neeson only pitch a few innings today. They need him to go deep into the game because they are thin in the bullpen. The definites that are available are lefty Carmine Giardino, righty Frank DiGiulio Jr., the newcomer Nick Struck. Everybody else pitched in yesterday's game up in Bridgeport. Some had to go long in that game. First pitch to Henry Wrigley, misses low and inside for ball 1, and Neeson having trouble finding the strike zone again. That's now 8 straight that he has missed on. Left-hander comes set. Runners lead at first and second, no out. The 1-0 is inside for ball 2. It's amazing how Neeson can look so dominant at some points and then at other times just has an ability to lose the strike zone. But that has been the way he has pitched since he has been here as a Long Island Duck since 2012. And the 2-0. There's a strike. This one hits the inside corner. And the count goes to 2-1. Wrigley, an RBI single to right in his first at bat. Third run batted in of the year. Neeson trying to either get a strikeout or get him to hit the ball on the ground. 2-1. That's popped up in the air, foul down the right field line. Griffin chasing towards the stands. This will be well back into the seats, though. Big hop off the lower concourse and up into the crowd. So the count now even at 2-2 on Wrigley. Again, a slow start for the Barnstormers this season at just 5-9. They are the second best hitting team, tied with Camden, but an average of just .254. Their pitching is second to last in the league, as is their fielding. And the 2-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. Wrigley chased the fastball down and in. Strikeout number 5 for Neeson. And that is the first out here in the third inning. So Wrigley retired for the first out. And now David Cooper, the first baseman, will bat from the left side. So the Barnstormers trying to get back on the winning track. Again, they lost all 3 games against the Revolution earlier this week. The first pitch is a breaking ball that missed low to Cooper for ball 1. The Ducks losing all 3 to Bridgeport. So both teams playing here tonight just got swept against their in-state, or not in-state rivals, but their nearby rivals, geographic rivals. 1-0. Fastball up and inside, and Neeson now behind 2-0. Cooper, a strikeout victim his first time up. Looking in the first, his 5th strikeout of the season. Runners lead at first and second. The 2-0, swung on and missed. Cut through what looked to be a fastball over the inside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. Cooper in his first season here with the Barnstormers, 16 hits in his first 54 at-bats. Runner at second, Bortnick. The runner at first, Galen. On the 2-1. Missed low and outside for ball 3. And now Neeson 1 ball away from walking the bases loaded here in the third inning. You get a sense from the fans they're getting a little bit restless here. After the Ducks immediately tied the game in the first, and now Neeson, after a good second, struggling to find his command in the third. The 3-1. Cooper takes. That just missed upstairs. So that is ball 4 to David Cooper, the 3rd walk of the inning, 5th of the game allowed by Eric Neeson. And the bases will be loaded with 1 out for Brian Cavazos Galvez.
Brian Cavazos Galvez, number 31.
So here is Brian Cavazos Galvez, who popped out foul to third in his first at bat. Cavazos Galvez hits from the right side. And the first pitch is ripped in the air to left field, well hit. Going back is the left fielder Komatsu. He will look up and you can forget it. A grand slam to left field on the first pitch from Eric Neeson. And after 3 walks in the inning, Cavazos Galvez launches his 2nd home run of the season. And the Barnstormers now lead it 5-1. Well, the more you walk, the more you will run into trouble. And Neeson, 3 walks in the inning, setting it up for Cavazos Galvez. And when you've fallen behind so many times, you almost feel like you just have to throw a strike. And Cavazos Galvez was waiting for it and hit it off the scoreboard and left. 2nd home run of the year. He's now up to 9 runs batted in. And the Barnstormers now lead by 4. Keith Castillo hits the first pitch on the ground. Diving stop by Puckett at third. The long throw in time for the out. Nice play by Cody Puckett at third. So Castillo retired for the 2nd time on a ground out. And 2 away here in the 3rd inning.
Shortstop, number 7, Lance Zawatsky.
Before this 4-game losing streak, the Ducks starting pitching staff had an ERA that was down in the low 1s. It was, I believe, at 1.29 was the lowest I saw it. And my, how things have changed. First pitch to Lance Sawatsky on the ground to the right side. Diving stop by John Griffin. The flip to first base. Neeson drops the baseball at first. So Sawatsky is going to be safe on the E1. And the inning will continue. Well, it looked like he was going to get out of the inning, but the Ducks making another error. I believe that is their 12th of the season. As Griffin flipped it to Neeson, who was covering, but Neeson could not pick up the baseball, could not field it cleanly. That is his first error of the season. And that will continue the inning. Michael Broad will come to the plate, the 8th hitter of the inning for Lancaster. That is indeed actually the Ducks' 13th error of the season. First pitch misses low. Ball briefly got away from Hump, but not far enough. The count 1-0. So the grand slam here in the inning by Brian Cavazos Galvez after back-to-back walks to Bortnick and Galen to start off the inning, and then a one-out walk to David Cooper. Neeson's inability to find the strike zone hurting him early on in tonight's game. 1-0 from Neeson, and Broad swings. It's a high fly ball left field, well hit. Going back is Komatsu. Warning track, Wall, you can forget it. Michael Broad, the 9-hitter in his first game as a Barnstormer with a 2-run home run to left. And after the error continues the inning, the Barnstormers add 2 more, and they now lead it 7-1. Well, the wheels falling off for Eric Neeson here in the 3rd. Drops the baseball on the flip from Griffin for the 2-out error. Now the 2-run home run to left for Broad. Both of those runs unearned, though. And it's now a 7-1 game. Well, Eric Neeson's going to have to recover quickly as Kajimoto rips one deep to left, and this one is going to leave the yard. A solo home run out to left field for Eric Neeson, and it is now an 8-1 game. First of the year for Yusuke Kajimoto. The Barnstormers have batted around in the inning.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lost child.
7 runs have scored in the inning, and Eric Neeson falling apart. And again, the fans obviously want Kevin Byes to go to his bullpen. They don't realize, many of them probably, what happened yesterday, in which almost every reliever had to be used for the Ducks in a 14-inning game. He can't go to his bullpen this early because he doesn't have enough guys to get him through the rest of this game. So Eric Neeson's going to have to wear this one and continue to pitch. The Barnstormers teeing off on him here in the 3rd inning. After 3 walks, a grand slam by Brian Cavazos Galvez, and after a 2-out error, a 2-run home run by Michael Broad, a solo homer from Yusuke Kajimoto. And with the 3 home runs, the Barnstormers now have hit 14 on the year. So Tyler Bortnick is going to come to the plate here, and I'm not sure what just happened, but it looked like Butch Hobson just went and had a quick chat with home plate umpire Frank LeParic. I'm not sure what the reasoning was behind it.
Batting for the Barnstormers, the third baseman, number 3, Tyler Bortnick.
And here is Tyler Bortnick, the 10th batter of the inning. And time called here at home plate. First pitch on the way is a curveball that drops in for strike 1. So 7 runs have scored in the inning, 4 of them earned, 3 unearned. Time called again here. I have no idea what's going on, but Tyler Bortnick in a discussion here with Frank LeParic. And now the 0-1 from Neeson. Swung on and foul, tipped at the plate. And that'll run the count to 0-2. So a 1-1 game has turned into an 8-1 lead for Lancaster. The good news for the Ducks is they have plenty of time to try and fight back in this game. But boy, the wind taken out of their sails here with a rough 3rd inning from Neeson. The 0-2 curveball is popped foul behind the plate. So the inning will continue. I wonder if it has to do with the fact that it sounds like a fan has an air horn here in the ballpark. 0-2 on the way to Bortnick, and he will swing and just get a piece again to fight it off. stays alive here. The fans hoping that he'll strike out to get some breadsticks. Bortnick walked to start this whole inning. And now after 8 other hitters, he's back at the plate. The 0-2, way outside. And that is ball 1. Neeson at this point has thrown a total of 80 pitches, 43 of them for strikes. He has trouble finding the strike zone again as he misses outside for ball 2. 5 strikeouts to the left-hander, but has fallen apart, has allowed 3 home runs in this inning, including an error. And the 2-2, way outside for ball 3. So he gets ahead 0-2, 2 foul balls, and now 3 straight out of the strike zone.
I want the fans in section 110 to yell breadsticks. Here we go. Breadsticks. Breadsticks. Breadsticks.
And the payoff pitch to Bortnick is low for ball 4. Eric Neeson gets ahead 0-2 and ends up walking Tyler Bortnick, the 6th walk given up by the left-hander tonight. So 2 down and a runner at first base. That'll bring Blake Galen to the plate, who has a walk and a strikeout tonight. And the first pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. Galen last year spent some time in the Mexican League, as we mentioned, with Tijuana. And there hit .271 with 11 homers, 33 runs batted in. The 0-1, swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and the count 0-2. So Neeson 1 strike away again from getting out of this inning with nothing further allowed, but has had trouble getting strike 3, and the 0-2 is lifted in the air to left. Well hit, going back Komatsu. Deep left field, near the warning track, he'll make the catch, and the inning will finally come to a conclusion. However, the Barnstormers send 11 men to the plate. They get 7 runs, 4 of which were earned, on 3 hits and 4 walks, 1 big error, and 1 runner left on base. Through 2.5, Barnstormers now have a commanding 8-1 lead here on Long Island.
Hey fans, this is outfielder Brian Sabatella, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
Spring into a new Honda at Huntington Honda and pay $59 a month for a new 2015 Honda Civic LX sedan. $59. So spring into Huntington Honda on Jericho Turnpike just east of Route 110 or HuntingtonHondaCars.com.
Huntington Honda, discover the difference.
Auto 24-month lease, total due at inception. Civic $31.90 includes bank fee, first month's payment, no security deposit. Taxes, DMV, title fees extra with excellent credit through HFS.
Baseball fans, the Long Island Ducks mobile app has officially arrived. Powered by Clear Vision Apps, it's your one-stop shop for all things Ducks baseball. Buy tickets straight from your mobile device. Receive game status updates with push notifications. Check out up-to-the-minute news and scores and interact with the Ducks on social media. Best of all, it's free. Download the Ducks mobile app today by visiting the App Store on your Apple-powered device or Google Play on your Android-powered device. The Long Island Ducks mobile app, with you wherever you flock to. Well, a rough top half of the 3rd inning for Eric Neeson. He allows 3 walks of the first 4 hitters and then gives up a grand slam on the first pitch to Brian Cavazos Galvez. And if that wasn't bad enough, he ended up committing an error, dropping a ball at first base with 2 out. And that was followed up by a 2-run home run from the 9-hitter Michael Broad. That was followed up by a solo home run from Yusuke Kajimoto. And when all was said and done, 7 runs on just 3 hits in the inning for Lancaster, 4 walks allowed by Neeson. And 4 of the 7 runs earned against Neeson, 3 unearned because of his error. But again, it was his error that kept the inning alive. So up to the plate will step Brian Sabatella, and the time is now for the Ducks to start trying to fight their way back in this game if they want to have a chance of ending the losing skid. And the first pitch misses outside for ball 1. By the way, when Blake Galen flat out to left field to end the top of the 3rd inning, that was the 15th out of tonight's ball game. 1-0 is inside for ball 2. Did you know that a 15-minute phone call to Geico could save you 15% or more on your car insurance? Get a free quote today. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO or visit geico.com. 2-0. That misses outside from Evans for ball 3. The Ducks have to hope now that Evans has a bit of trouble on the mound and gives the Ducks an opportunity to come back here. The lead looks large now, but still plenty of time to go. And the 3-0 is right down the middle for strike one. Sabatello, a double in his first at-bat, his fourth double of the year, and scored his 10th run, which is tops on the team. And the 3-1 popped up in the air to right center field. Galen and Cavazos Galvez converging, and it's the center fielder Blake Galen who will make the catch for out number one.
We have an age 4 little boy, Giacomo, who is waiting for Aunt Carrie.
So with one out, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Prentice Redmond, who grounded a short in his first at-bat. And things look good again after Eric Neeson got through the second inning with just a 2-out hit allowed and nothing further. In for a strike to Redmond, and the count 0-1. And it also looked good after, even though the Ducks gave up the run in the top of the first, they responded right away and tied the game, but the wheels fell off for Neeson in the third. And that fastball hits the outside corner, another called strike, and the count 0-2. Again, Neeson converted from a reliever to a starter this year. 0-2, breaking ball, taken low and outside for ball one. And his first two starts look good. He looked strong, especially his last start when he struck out 8 batters on Sunday against the Skeeters and 6 innings of work. But here tonight, not the same story. 1-2, Redmond swings, pops in the air to center field. Taking a step or two back is Blake Galen. Now he'll jog in a step or two and make the catch. So Redmond retired on the fly out to center and quickly 2 away for the Ducks here in the bottom of the third inning.
Long Island center fielder, number 20, Lou Ford. Number 20.
That'll bring Lou Ford to the plate. He'll bat from the right side. Evans spent all of last season with New Orleans, AAA affiliate of the Marlins in the Pacific Coast League. 5-8 record of 4.42 earned run average. On the first pitch, Ford takes inside for ball one. 36 games, 14 starts for Evans. He also had a couple of saves. 105 strikeouts and 112 innings of work, 101 hits and 45 walks. Ford rips this one into left field, but right there is Yusuke Kajimoto to make the catch. And a quick end to a 1-2-3 bottom of the third inning. So the Ducks go in order, and we go to the fourth here at Bethpage Ballpark, 8-1 in favor of Lancaster.
Hey fans, this is left-handed pitcher Tommy Oregon, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
Few places on earth offer the charm and excitement of Fire Island. At Fire Island Ferries, located conveniently at 99 Maple Avenue in Bay Shore, they offer convenient travel to Fire Island 7 days a week. Fire Island is quickly becoming a top destination for families of all ages. Experience the informal, carefree communities, the dazzling night scene, enjoy fine dining, or climb to the top of one of the tallest lighthouses in the United States. But there's only one way to get there, by calling Fire Island Ferries at 631-665-3600 today. For fare and scheduling information, please visit fireislandferries.com.
Hey Ducks fans, stay up to date with Long Island's hometown team by visiting Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. Quack of the Bat will bring Ducks fans beyond the headlines with in-depth feature articles, breaking news stories, game previews, post-game wrap-ups, and so much more. Interact with the team during the entire season through quotes directly from the players and coaches, as well as exclusive video clips and photos. Check out the blog today at quackofthebat.wordpress.com. Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. On to the fourth inning here at Bethpage Ballpark, where the Barnstormers hold a commanding 8-1 lead over the Ducks after a 7-run third inning. Despite having an extremely thin bullpen tonight because of the 14-inning game yesterday that saw the Ducks use all but 2 relievers, Kevin Byes is going to turn things over to his bullpen here in the fourth, and he's going to call on Frank DiGiulio Jr. to pitch for Long Island. and face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Lancaster Barnstormers. So, it'll be interesting to see how the Ducks fight their way through the rest of this game. They have to pitch at least 6 more innings worth out of their bullpen after Eric Neeson blows up in the 3rd inning, walks 4 hitters, gives up 3 home runs in the inning. And after a 1-1 score through 2 innings, the Barnstormers break out the bats. The Ducks' struggles continuing here of late. So here is Henry Wrigley to bat, who is 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI single. DeGiulio Jr. comes to the stretch, and his first pitch is over the inside corner on a fastball for strike 1. So for Eric Neeson tonight, an ugly line. 3 innings of work, gives up 5 hits, 8 runs, 5 of which were earned. Walked 6 batters and struck out 5. The 0-1 popped up in the air, foul territory, third base side. Puckett racing back, Lyons going back too. It's the shortstop Dan Lyons who will make the catch along the warning track down the left field line, showing his terrific range. And Wrigley retired for the first out here in the 4th inning. Neeson allowed 3 home runs, all in the 3rd inning. A grand slam by Brian Cavazos Galvez, a 2-run homer from Michael Broad, and a solo homer from Yusuke Kajimoto. Broad and Kajimoto going back to back. And Lancaster a 3-run home run shy of hitting for the home run cycle in 1 inning. That's pretty impressive. So up to the plate will step David Cooper, the first baseman. He hits from the left side, and DeGiulio Jr. deals a fastball that just missed the outside corner. And the count 1-0. Cooper a strikeout looking back in the 1st inning, and then in the 3rd drew a walk and scored on the home run by Cavazos Galvez. 1-0. High fly ball in the air to center field, well hit. Lou Ford going back, and deep right center, he will make the catch. That ball hit well, just not well enough. And that is out number 2. So a good start for Frank DeGiulio Jr. Neeson threw a total of 86 pitches in the game and struck out 46 times. So with 2 away, that'll leave it up to Brian Cavazos Galvez. In between innings, I saw Kevin Baez before the bottom half of the 3rd inning come out and have a chat with Frank LeParrick. I'm not sure what it was about. As the first pitch taken for ball 1. But he had a chat and he had his lineup card out. It almost looked as though he was signaling some defensive changes coming. But from the eye test here, the only defensive change that I can tell is the new pitcher on the mound, Frank DeGiulio Jr. So it'll be a 1-0. Cavazos Galvez had a grand slam his last at bat, and here he pops one up foul behind the plate to even up the count at 1-1. Cavazos Galvez last year splitting time in the Dodgers organization with AA Chattanooga and AAA Albuquerque. With Albuquerque, 23 games, he hit .313 with 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. And at Chattanooga, 224 games with 2 homers and 20 runs batted in. 1-1. And Cavazos Galvez takes inside, it hit him. Looked like it caught him up on the arm. So Cavazos Galvez on for the 2nd time tonight as he has been hit by a pitch. First time he's been hit this year. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Keith Castillo, the former Duck. Numbers so far on Ducks right-handed pitcher Frank DeGiulio Jr. this season. Has pitched in 5 games, 0-1 record with a 3.86 ERA. 2 runs allowed in 4 2/3 innings on 4 hits and a walk, with 2 strikeouts, 4 walks, and this one a broken bat liner down the right field line for a base hit. Cavazos Galvez will go to 3rd. Sabatella throws into 2nd, and it is not in time. So Keith Castillo goes the opposite way for a double, his first hit of the night. He is now 1 for 3. And for Castillo, it is his 2nd double of the year. And here comes a 2-out rally for the Barnstormers, a hit batter and a double. And each of these rallies for Lancaster has started with something other than a hit. In the 1st inning, it was back-to-back walks. In the 3rd inning, it was back-to-back walks. And here in the 4th, a hit batter, and now a double. And up to the plate steps Lance Zawatsky, who reached on a huge error by Eric Neeson in the 3rd inning. Julio Jr. works out of the stretch, comes set. His first pitch to Zawadzki is a fastball fouled back to the screen behind home plate. Lancaster coming out swinging early in the count. They're being very aggressive here in this game. If they get a good pitch to hit, they're ready to swing at it. 2 of the home runs in the third inning coming on the first pitch from Eric Neeson. And the 0-1. Zawadzki takes low. It goes off the glove of the catcher. Hopped into score from third is Cavazos Galvez. Castillo will go to third. A pass ball on Hopped. And it's now a 9-1 game. So some ugly, ugly performance here from the Ducks, both on the mound and defensively. I believe that is now the 7th pass ball allowed by a Ducks catcher this season. It produces another run here after the first 2 batters were retired by DeJulio Jr. There's a strike over the outside corner, and that'll run the count to 1-2. So the lead now at 8 for Lancaster, who has just 6 hits in the game but has scored 9 runs. Taking advantage of 6 walks and a hit by pitch, and now a pass ball as well. The 1-2, breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will put an end to the 4th inning. First strikeout for DeJulio Jr., that'll end the threat. However, the Barnstormers get another unearned run on 1 hit, a hit batter, and a pass ball. No errors, and 1 runner left on base. Through 3.5, it is Lancaster 9 and the Ducks 1.
Hey fans, this is Jose Morales, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
Hey, Ducks fans, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks is the Upsky Long Island Hotel in Hauppauge. It's centrally located on the north shore of Long Island and offers a home away from home for both business and leisure guests. The Upsky Long Island Hotel features an indoor pool, 24-hour business center, a fitness center, and complimentary Wi-Fi in all guest rooms. Enjoy the contemporary American cuisine at the Fountain Grill restaurant or grab a quick bite to eat at Cafe Pronto. Best of all, it's only minutes from Bethpage Ballpark. The Upsky Long Island Hotel, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks. Call 231-1100 today at 631-231-1100.
Family fun every time. Beautiful evening for baseball. Big action every time.
He reaches up, it's gone!
Great value every time.
And the Ducks have won it 7-1.
The Ducks schedule is loaded with new promotions this season, and with an average ticket price of just $10 and free parking, there is no better value on Long Island. For game times and tickets, visit liducks.com. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
Barnstormers with a 7-run third inning. They had another run in the 4th against Frank DeJulio Jr. And it is now a 9-1 lead for the Barnstormers. And the Ducks facing a big hole here tonight. Need to find a way to try and come back in this game if they want to end this losing skid. Again, tomorrow a day-night doubleheader, 7-inning game in Game 1, and then a 9-inning game in Game 2. Cody Puckett will lead things off for the Ducks as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Brian Evans from the wind, and his first pitch is taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Puckett a fly ball to center field his first time up, a hard liner actually that was caught by Blake Galen, who barely had a move on it. And here Puckett flares one into shallow right. The second baseman Michael Broad will make the catch on the edge of the outfield grass. Puckett kind of reached out and knocked that one in the air, and Broad makes the catch for the first out here of the 4th inning. 5 straight now retired by the right-hander Evans. 9 of the last 10 after the RBI single by Lou Ford. So here's John Griffin, who grounded back to the mound in his first at bat. And the first pitch on the way is inside. It hit him. Ball hit John Griffin right on the side. And And that is the first time he has been hit by a pitch this year. So now each side has a batter that's been hit in this game. And that'll bring Rigi Corona to the plate. Again, it is very early in the season, and maybe that's a good thing for the Ducks that they're going through a losing skid like this so early. You don't want this to happen when you're trying to gain a playoff spot or trying in a race for a playoff spot late in a half. So for the Ducks, better that it happens early rather than later. First pitch to Rigi Corona. It's a breaking ball that misses low for ball one. But of course, after last year, whenever the Ducks go on an extended losing streak, it evokes memories of that 13-game losing skid from a year ago. A franchise record losing streak at the beginning of the second half. Here Corona takes now ahead in the count 2-0. Corona fly out to right field his first time up back in the second inning. Well, the first two losses in this losing streak didn't seem very similar to that because the Ducks lost a lot of close games. Yesterday certainly had that feel to it. And the 2-0 from Evans. Corona takes a fastball, just missed outside. Evans thought he had a strike. And the count now goes to 3-0 on Rigi Corona. The Ducks need base runners here to try and get a little rally going and get back in this game. Still plenty of time to go. And the 3-0. There's a strike, fastball in at the belt. Again, Corona has hit safely in 6 consecutive games entering tonight. .435 average during the streak, 10 for 23. A double, a triple, 3 runs, and a walk in that span. Griffin leads at first with 1 out. And the 3-1 pitch coming from the right-hander. Corona will swing and lift this one down the left field line. This will slice foul and out of play. And so the count now full at 3-2. Griffin does not have good speed at first, so we'll see if Kevin Byes puts him in motion just to try and get him closer to second base, stay out of a potential double play if Corona hits it on the ground. Switch hitter batting from the left side, former New York Yankees prospect Rigi Corona. 3-2 runner does not go, and Corona fouls it back to the screen behind home plate. A good cut, but he was out in front. So we'll do it once again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Barnstormers 9, Ducks 1, bottom of the 4th inning here at Bethpage Ballpark. Dylan Humpt waiting on deck for Long Island. Griffin leads at first, being held on by David Cooper. And the 3-2 again is fouled off third base side, out of play. Quacker Jack greeting some fans down here on the lower concourse, taking a couple pictures on this Friday night. So we'll have another payoff pitch coming here from Evans, who stands in at 6'2", 200 pounds, out of Mission Viejo, California, where he still resides, the hometown of none other than former Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez. Another 3-2, and Corona fouls it back again, straight to the screen behind home plate. And now the at-bat 8 pitches long. Both the Ducks and the Barnstormers struggling to get going here in the early part of this season, and Lancaster has broken out here early tonight. Ducks trying to see if they can fight their way back against Brian Evans, the right-handed starter for Lancaster. Another 3-2, and Corona swings, hits this one in the right center field gap. This is going to get down for a base hit. It'll split the outfielders and go to the wall. Griffin will round third. He will come home to score. Corona going for 3. Here's the throw, not in time. An RBI triple for Rigi Corona, his second triple and second RBI of the year. And the Ducks get their second run of the night. Good at bat by Rigi Corona, last 9 pitches, and on the 9th pitch, he splits the right fielder and center fielder and delivers the RBI triple that scores John Griffin all the way from first base. And for Corona, his second 3-bagger of the week. This one, a legitimate triple after the one he got in Bridgeport was one that was popped up to left and fell in between the left fielder and the shortstop and got kicked around, and that's why he was able to get the triple. Here's Dylan Hump to the plate from the right side in what is now a 9-2 game. And the first pitch is taken upstairs for ball 1. That's the second triple of the year for the Ducks, and both of them coming off the bat of Reggie Corona, who now is at a 7-game hitting streak, the longest by a Duck this year. So the count 1-0 on Haupt, who swung the first pitch in the second inning and grounded out to the third baseman, Tyler Bortnick, a slow roller that Bortnick was able to field and throw to first just in time to get him out. A little delay here as it appears that Evans is adjusting himself behind the mound. Kind of retucked the jersey and really delaying this ball game. So the count 1-0 on the new catcher for the Ducks, who was born and resides in San Diego, California. Spent 2 seasons at rookie level for the Chicago White Sox, Great Falls in the Pioneer League. The 1-0, and he takes a fastball over the outside corner for strike 1. Good hitting catcher, though, had solid numbers last year. Had 9 home runs for Great Falls. 1-1. Well, swing and miss, chasing the breaking ball over the outside part of the plate. And that'll run the count to 1-2 on Dylan Haupt. Corona leads at third with 1 out. His RBI triple has given the Ducks their second run of the night. From the stretch, the 1-2 from Evans. And Haupt will swing and lines this one foul down the right field line into the seats. We'll do it once again at 1-2. Haupt last year played in 43 games, and he hit .290 with 9 home runs and 28 runs batted in his 2 years combined .288 average with 10 home runs and 41 runs batted in, so pretty good numbers. But shockingly, the White Sox released him after the season. So another 1-2 pitch coming here to Haupt, who bats from the right side. And he swings and misses at a ball down in the dirt for strike 3. Castillo having trouble finding it. Picks it up. The throw to first, not made. And safe at first on the wild pitch, despite striking out, is Dylan Haupt. So for Evans, that is his first strikeout, but unable to record the out as Keith Castillo had no idea where the ball was. It trickled slightly up the first base line.
Left fielder number 25, Eric Komatsu.
So on the strikeout wild pitch, the Ducks get a runner to first. Now with runners at the corners and 1 out, up will step Eric Komatsu. For Evans, that is his first wild pitch of the season. The 10th for Barnstormer pitching this year. And here is Eric Komatsu, who singled to right his first time up. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Evans looks in for the sign from Castillo. A long look here. The game really has slowed down. On the first pitch, Komatsu swings, hits this one in the air to right. Well hit. Going back is Cavazos Galvez. On the run, he won't get it. It will one hop and go over the wall for a ground rule double. Corona will come home to score. Komatsu keeps running. He thought it was a home run here. The Barnstormers are trying to say that it was a ground rule double, and now we have confusion on the field. Well, in any way, it's at least an RBI ground rule double. It from this point clearly looked like it bounced and went over the wall. The first base umpire, Mario Rosas, I guess was pointing that it was a home run. Tony Senia, the third base umpire, is now over to discuss with him. And now the home plate umpire, Frank LeParic, is going out for the discussion. And we have utter chaos here at Bethpage Ballpark. Butch Hobson came out of the dugout. He was going to argue, but he hasn't even made it to the umpires yet. He's talking with his infielders. From our vantage point, it looked like it was a ground rule double. Looked like it went over the head of Cavazos Galvez clearly, and then it bounced and went over the wall. They're going to say it is a ground rule double. Okay, it is a ground rule double. The first base umpire, Mario Rosas, pointed to the sky like it looked like he was pointing it was a home run, but they rule it a ground rule double. Kevin Mize is going to go over and discuss it with Senia just to verify, and I don't think he's going to have much of an argument here. Again, it looked to me like that was indeed a ground rule double. So for Eric Komatsu, it is his first double of the year, his second run batted in, and he's got his first multi-hit game of the season. The Ducks with 2 hits in the inning, have scored twice, and we've now got ourselves a 9-3 ball game. Off the bat, it looked like that was going to be a flyout, but just kept traveling here. Not much of a wind to speak of. Either way, the Ducks have runners at second and third with 2 out after the ground rule double. And up to the plate steps Dan Lyons. Evans comes set, working out of the stretch. And the first pitch is ripped into left field. Base hit for Dan Lyons. Scoring from third is hopped. Komatsu will stop at third. It's an RBI single for Dan Lyons. And the Ducks now within 5 at 9-4. Well, this is what you like to see from the Ducks, not going down easily in this game. They are fighting back, and that's going to bring Rich Rundles, the pitching coach for the Barnstormers, out of the dugout to talk things over with the right-hander. For Dan Lyons, it's his first hit of the night, his 5th RBI of the season. Hop scores his first run as a Duck, and Komatsu goes to third. The only reason the Ducks were unable to get 2 runs there is because the third baseman Tyler Bordnick almost was able to make the catch. And the runners had to hold up in case he did make that catch. So it's an RBI single for the batter. The Ducks go back to the top of the order. 7th man to bat in the inning is Brian Sabatella. Well, the way the Ducks are fighting back here now, of course, you can never say that the game would have gone the same way, but that's why that 2-out error by Eric Neeson in the third was so huge. It kept getting alive, and instead of getting the next hitter out, gave up back-to-back home runs that produced 3 more runs. Sabatella takes down low for ball 1. Tonight he is 1 for 2 at the plate. A double and a run scored back in the first inning, and then a fly out to center in the third. From the stretch, the 1-0 pitch. Evans deals and Sabatella swings and misses, cutting through the fastball. That'll even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Ducks with 3 runs here in the 4th inning, not done yet. Each team now with 6 hits in the game. And Long Island with Eric Komatsu at third, Dan Lyons at first. Good speed at both bases for the flock. 1-1. Swinging a ground ball to the left side. Bordnick fields. He'll go to second. The throw is a bit offline. However, the second baseman, Broad, was able to keep his foot on the bag. It's an RBI fielder's choice. And the lead cut to 9-5. So it'll go down as a fielder's choice off the bat of Sabatella. Lyons put out at first. And that'll bring up Prentice Redmond. Throw over to first and back safely. There is Sabatella. This one line in the left field for Redmond. This is going to drop in for a base hit. So Sabatella will stop at second base. And that'll give Lou Ford an opportunity. So up to the plate will step Lou Ford, who has an RBI single in this ball game. So Sabatella with the RBI fielder's choice, picking up his 7th run batted in of the season. And now Redmond with the single to left field. The Ducks have runners at first and second with 2 down for Lou Ford. The Ducks have batted around here in the inning. First pitch on the way. Ford will take a breaking ball that missed up high for ball 1. So each team has now batted around once in this game. Ford had an RBI single in the first, a fly out to left in the third. Redmond now 1 for 3 with that base hit. The 1-0 is on the outside corner. A tailing fastball from the right-hander in the count, even up at 1-1. So Komatsu scoring on the single by Lyons. Komatsu his 2nd run of the year. The Lions was retired 5-4 on the fielder's choice. 1-1. Ford takes a fastball up and outside. Evans now with this long inning, his pitch count up to 64. 43 of those 64 pitches for strikes. 4 runs in the inning for the Ducks. And if they can get one more on, they'd bring the tying run of the plate in Cody Puckett. 2-1. Ford takes a fastball outside for ball 3. One more out of the zone would load up the bases for Long Island. And Cody Puckett, the Atlantic League leader in home runs with 4, waiting in the on-deck circle. Ducks now out hitting the Barnstormers 7-6. Evans gets the sign from Castillo. Kick and a turn back to second. Very close to a balk there for Evans. Foot came up and almost started coming forward, but instead he turned back to keep an eye on Sabatella, who again has 5 stolen bases this year. That leads the Atlantic League. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Ford, and he will take low and outside for ball 4. So that is walk number 1 allowed by Evans, our first Municipal Credit Union walk with a purpose. Every time a Ducks batter walks, the Quacker Jack Foundation wins. Redmond will go to second. Sabatella will go to third. And in the blink of an eye, the Ducks have scored 4 runs here in the 4th inning, and they have now sent the tying run to the plate in Cody Puckett. And if he can get a hold of one, we'll have a brand new ball game at 9-9. So let's see what Cody Puckett can do here with 2 down and the bases full. 4 hits in the inning for the Ducks. First pitch on the way. Puckett swings, pops it up. First pitch, he popped it up to shallow center. The second baseman, Broad, can't see it. It's going to drop in. Sabatella scores and Redmond scores, and it's now a 9-7 game. Oh, what a break for the Ducks. Puckett popped it up in a shallow center. It looked like Broad had a beat on it, and then all of a sudden lost the ball in the sky. It drops in for a hit. 2-run score. And it's a 9-7 ball game. Unbelievable. Well, last night the Ducks got no breaks to go their way. Tonight they're getting a few. The strikeout wild pitch, and now the bloop single that falls in after the second baseman Broad loses the ball in the sky, and now the Ducks with the tying runs on base, and up to the plate steps John Griffin. Puckett with his first hit of the night, RBIs 9 and 10 on the year. And the first pitch on the way, Griffin swings and misses, cutting through a fastball, diving down and away. And the count 0-1. Give the Ducks credit, they are not going down without a fight here tonight. They have fought back with 6 runs here in the 4th inning and have made this a 9-7 game. 0-1. And Griffin takes a strike over the outside corner, another good fastball. And John Griffin in an 0-2 hole. He was hit by a pitch earlier this inning and scored on the triple by Corona. Back in the first, he grounded back to the mound. So now the count 0-2 as the Ducks continuing to pile on runs here in the 4th inning. Evans comes set. And the 0-2 to Griffin. Low and outside. Good block by Castillo at the plate. The count goes to 1-2. The Ducks with the bases loaded and 2 down. Cody Puckett at the plate. He was ready to hack first pitch, and he popped it up in a shallow right center. And it looked like that would be the 3rd out, but unable to make the catch was Broad as he lost the ball in the sky. And in between daylight and darkness. Now the ball falls in. Puckett picks up 2 RBIs. And now the tying runs on base, but Griffin behind in the count 1-2. He has had trouble with strikeouts here this season, but a chance to him to show some plate discipline and keep the at-bat going. The 1-2 from Evans, and Griffin takes low. Good eye by the Ducks first baseman, and the count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Griffin has 2 home runs this year. The run he scored earlier this inning, the 4th of the season for the first baseman. And the dangerous Rigi Corona, who's had a great start to the year, waiting on deck. 2-2. And Griffin swings and misses for strike 3. Cuts through the fastball. That will end the inning. However, the Ducks with a big inning. They send 11 men to the plate. 6-run score on 5 hits. No errors and 2 left on base. And through 4 crazy innings here at Bethpage Ballpark, we have a ball game again. It is the Ducks 9, the Barnstormers 9, and the Ducks 7.
Hey fans, this is Sergio Perez, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on the Long Island home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
Beautify your patio, walkway, driveway, or pool surround with Nicoloc paving stones and walls. Nicoloc's specially formulated paver shield offers extra surface wear protection and color enhancement throughout the thickness of the paver. Paver shield guarantees that your pavers will look great for years to come. Bring home the elegance with Nicoloc. Visit the Nicoloc Design Center, Sunrise Highway, Lindenhurst, or Nicoloc.com.
Let Nicoloc Pavers pave your way.
Enjoy the ultimate VIP fan experience at Bethpage Ballpark this season by taking in a Ducks game from the brand new Trout Town Fan Can. Presented by Roscoe Beer Company, the Fan Can is available for rental at all Ducks home games. It features 12 Dream Seat theater-style padded seats, beverage holders, an air-conditioned atmosphere, and an incredible view of the game. Packages are now available with food and beverage included. To reserve your Fan outing today, call the Ducks Group Sales Department at 631-940-3825. The Trout Town Fan Can at Bethpage Ballpark. Your VIP experience has arrived. Well, after the Ducks and the Bridgeport Bluefish played a wild game last night that saw a little bit of everything, the Ducks and the Barnstormers doing it here tonight at Bethpage Ballpark. Lancaster with a 7-run third inning took an 8-1 lead. They added another run in the fourth to make it 9-1. And Long Island rallies back with 6 runs in the bottom of the fourth, and we've got a 2-run game now at 9-7. First pitch to Michael Broad leading off in the bottom of the fifth from Frank DiGiulio Jr. is low for ball 1. Broad making his first start of the season, and boy, what a start he has had. A single in the second inning and a 2-run home run to left in the third. 1-0, and DiGiulio Jr. misses inside for ball 2. So one of the big keys to rallying back in a game is to put runs on the board. The Ducks certainly did that. The other big key is to keep the opponent off the scoreboard, and we'll see if DiGiulio Jr. can do that here in the fifth. 2-0. That fastball in at the knees for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-1. DiGiulio Jr. allowing a run in the fourth as he hit a batter with 2 outs, gave up a double, and then a run scoring on a pass ball by Dylan Haupt. 2-1 pitch. DiGiulio Jr. misses inside for ball 3. He's 1 pitch away from allowing a walk, and if the evidence by Eric Neeson wasn't clear enough, I'm not sure what else is in terms of the dangers of allowing leadoff walks and walks in general. And the 3-1 is swung and grounded foul up the third base line, and the count goes full. Eric Neeson allowing 6 walks in his 3 innings of work, including back-to-back leadoff walks in both the first and the third inning. And in this game, 4 of the 6 walks he issued, the runners came home to score. 3-2 pitch, and this way up and inside for ball 4. So a leadoff walk issued to the 9-hitter Michael Broad, and not the way DiGiulio Jr. wants to start off in the fifth after the Ducks just put a 6 spot up on the scoreboard.
Left fielder, number 1, Yusuke Kajimoto.
We'll go back to the order and back to the top of the order, and it'll be Yusuke Kajimoto who will bat for Lancaster. Kajimoto 1 for 2 in the ball game. Has a walk and a solo home run. By the way, it is also time for our trivia question here in the fifth, where we'll test your knowledge of the Ducks, the Atlantic League, and baseball as a whole. First pitch on the way. Fastball missed low and inside for ball 1. Well, the Ducks here tonight with 7 runs through 4 innings against the Lancaster Barnstormers. And that second most runs the Ducks have scored in a single game this year, behind the 10 they scored last Saturday night here at Bethpage Ballpark. Outside, DiGiulio Jr. misses, and he's behind now 2-0. So the Ducks' season high in runs this year in the early going is 10. Their season high a year ago came against this very same Barnstormers team, and during this very same month. We want to know what the total was as Kajimoto squared to bunt, pulled back, and took a strike over the outside corner. The most runs scored by the Ducks in a single game last year was what? It came against Lancaster. It came during the month of May. We'll let you think about it. We'll give you the answer in the bottom half of this inning. 2-1 count on Yusuke Kajimoto, who hits from the left side. DeGiulio Jr. deals, and Kajimoto swings and fouls it off at the plate. The count goes to 2-2. The home run that Kajimoto hit in inning number 3 was his first of the year. Picked up RBI number 2. Also walked and scored back in the first, so he now is up to 7 runs on the season. It'll be a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch from DeGiulio Jr., who works out of the stretch. Cody Puckett, the third baseman, well off the bag at third base. 2-2 runner goes from first. Pitch is lined into left field towards the line. This is going to drop in fair, a base hit. On his way to third is Broad. Butch Hobson sending him home as the left fielder Komatsu has trouble with it. Kajimoto going for third, and he will slide in safe ahead of the tag of Cody Puckett. It's an RBI triple, and the Barnstormers lead back up to 3 at 10-7. So just like that, the leadoff walk, and it comes back to bite the Ducks. As Kajimoto serves it the other way when DeGiulio Jr. can't get strike 3. Second RBI of the game and the first triple of the year for Kajimoto. And it's now a 10-7 game. That'll bring Kevin Baez out of the dugout, and we'll see if he goes to the bullpen again. Ducks are already thin down there, but DeGiulio Jr. is going to be taken out here in inning number 5. The Ducks will have another reliever coming in. 10-7 the score as we play here at Bethpage Ballpark in favor of Lancaster.
Hey fans, this is Marty Jansen, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital in Bayshore is the healthcare heart of our community. We provide outstanding healthcare right here at home with centers of excellence in cardiology, orthopedics, neurosciences, women's health services, and much more. Experience counts, and North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital has been around for nearly a century of care. For more information, please call 631-968-3000 or visit us on the web at www.nslij.com.
Family fun every time.
Beautiful evening for baseball.
Big action every time.
He reaches up, it's gone!
Great value every time.
And the Ducks have won it 7-1.
The Ducks schedule is loaded with new promotions this season, and with an average ticket price of just $10 and free parking, there is no better value on Long Island. For game times and tickets, visit liducks.com. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
Kevin Baez goes to his bullpen here with nobody out in the 5th inning after Frank DeGiulio Jr. allows a leadoff walk and then an RBI triple to Yusuke Kajimoto. And for the 3rd time in this game, when a leadoff walk has been issued, a run has come to score. That runner came home to score. And the walks just killing the Ducks here in this game. 7 walks already issued by Ducks pitching, and not good enough here in the early going. But Carmine Giardina is now going to come into the game. Again, now the 2 pitchers for the Ducks that did not pitch in yesterday's game are pitching here tonight. DeGiulio Jr. already done. And here is Carmine Giardina. The Ducks with an already thin bullpen. It's going to be interesting to see how Kevin Baez is able to navigate through the rest of this game. He's going to have to try and get at least a couple innings out of some of these relievers, because otherwise he's going to have to go to guys that really are not available to pitch, and not really much you can do at that point. You might have a starting pitcher throwing on his day that he would normally throw in the bullpen if he hasn't thrown already. Potentially that could be John Brownell. Not really sure whose day it is. It's either Brownell or Mickey Janis, but either way, the Ducks in a tight spot here with a short bullpen. And they fought back to within 2 at 9-7, but the Barnstormers already have put a run on the scoreboard. Now they have a runner at third with nobody out. And here's Tyler Bortnick, who has walked 3 times already in this game. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that missed up and outside for ball one. Bortnick walked in the first, made it to third, but was stranded there. Walked in the third and scored, and walked again in the third, but was stranded at first. Infield in all the way around for the Ducks. A 1-0 from Giardina, popped up on the infield near home plate. Dylan Hump sheds the mask, and Hump will make the catch in foul territory for the first out. So there's a big first out for Carmine Giardina, the Manhasset native, as he gets Tyler Bortnick on the foul pop. And with one away, that will bring up Blake Galen.
Center fielder number 2, Blake Galen, number 2.
Take a look at some out-of-town scores this inning as well. Get you caught up around the Atlantic League and the major leagues. York Revolution hosting the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs tonight at Santander Stadium. 4-4 the score as they play in the bottom half of the 6th inning. LaRue started for York. Harris is now in the game. Baker started for the Blue Crabs. Keeler now pitching as Blake Galen fouls the first pitch off for strike one. For the Revs, 2 RBIs from De La Cruz. And for the Blue Crabs, 2 RBIs from Molina, who had a couple of home runs yesterday. Infield still in all the way around here with the runner at third and 1 away. Galen tonight 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored, and the 0-1 pitch is swung and grounded to the right side. John Griffin on the short hop field. Runner has to stay put at third, and the flip to first is in time for the out. The put out will go 3-4 there as Regi Corona came in behind Griffin to cover first base. So Carmine Giardina gets 2 big outs there and keeps the runner at third. And now one more batter he's got to face to try and get out of this jam here in the 5th inning. And it is Henry Wrigley, the cleanup hitter, who is 1 for 3. Every Barnstormer has reached base at least once in this game already. The only one that hasn't reached safely is Lance Sawatsky, who got on via the error. So here's Wrigley to bat from the right side. Giardina comes set on the mound. On the first pitch, fastball missed upstairs for ball one. For Giardina, this is appearance number 4 on the season. 1-0 record, has a 9.82 ERA. 4 runs on 7 hits in 3 2/3 innings, 2 walks and a strikeout. And here a broken bat flare in a left field, racing in Eric Kamatsu. He will make the catch, and a great job by Carmine Giardina. Came in with a runner at third and 2 out, and was able to get out of the inning with nothing further allowed. So just 1 run on a 1 hit and a walk, no errors and 1 left. We have played 4 1/2. We are halfway through tonight. It is the Barnstormers 10 and the Ducks 7.
Hey fans, this is outfielder Evan Crawford, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Start by attending a free MCU home buying seminar. Then speak with one of our loan specialists who will guide you through the loan process. With an affordable mortgage from Municipal Credit Union, Home Sweet Home will be a little sweeter. Call 212-238-3521 or visit nymcu.org to apply for your mortgage today. Municipal Credit Union. Strong, trusted, growing. Municipal Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender.
Take your group out to the ball game this season and enjoy all the fun of Ducks baseball at discounted prices with the Hebrew National Picnic Area, luxury suites, the Smokin' Owls Party Deck, the Trout Town Fan Can, and so much more. Bringing your group to the game will be an unforgettable experience. The Ducks even offer opportunities to sing the national anthem, serve as the Ridgewood Savings Bank color guard, be the Nicolak Dream Team, put on a pregame performance, or shag fly balls during Ducks batting practice. To book your outing today, call 631-940-3825 and ask for the group sales department. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
Time for the answer to today's trivia question as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Ducks with 7 runs in the game here. Their season high is 10, which they did last Saturday here at this ballpark against Sugarland. The question is, what was their season high in runs a year ago? They did it against this same Barnstormers team. and they did it in this same month of May. The answer, 19. The Ducks scored 19 runs on May 28th at Clipper Magazine Stadium in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, in a 19-3 win. That was the season high in runs a year ago. And if this game keeps going, one of these teams might hit 19. First pitch to Regi Corona, misses low and inside for ball 1. Corona today is 1 for 2 in the game, had an RBI triple to right in the 4th inning, and flat out to right field in the 2nd. Brian Evans still pitching for the Barnstormers. The 1-0 delivered for a strike on the outside corner. The count even at 1-1. Regi Corona now with a 7-game hitting streak. Entered the game hitting .435 during his 6-game streak and continues to hit the ball well. 1-1. Misses outside for ball 2. The Ducks entered the season with Blake Davis as the scheduled starter at second base, a former big leaguer. But Davis was hampered by a groin strain that caused him to miss 6 games, and Corona has taken over that spot and really done well in his absence. The 2-1. Corona takes inside under the hands. And Evans now behind in the count 3-1. The Ducks fell behind 9-1 in this game after 3.5 innings of play, but they put together a 6-run bottom of the 4th to close to within 2. Lancaster just got a run back in the top of the 5th inning. 3-1 to Corona, and he'll swing and pop this one foul behind the plate, just off to the third base side. The count 3-2. Continuing on with the out-of-town scoreboard since we were cut off last inning, Camden River Sharks Sugarland Skeeters are tied at 2 in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Shane Liu, the starter for the Skeeters, and Futeni, the starter for the River Sharks. Brian Strebe, the former Duck, has hit a 2-run home run for Camden. Jennings and Young have driven in the 2 runs for the Skeeters. Payoff pitch coming from Evans to Corona. And Corona will swing and line this into left field, a base hit. 3rd consecutive multi-hit game for Regi Corona as he goes the other way for a single. 9th hit of the ball game for the Ducks, and they get the leadoff man on here in inning number 5. So that'll bring up Dylan Hoff, the new catcher, to the plate, who scored a run an inning ago. Bottom of the 5th inning in Bridgewater, New Jersey. The Somerset Patriots and the Bridgeport Bluefish, Liberty Division foes, scoreless. Corey Riordan, the starter for the Bluefish, and Ron Boone, the starter for the Patriots. First pitch on the way to Hopp, and he'll swing and hit this one in the air to shallow right, going out the second baseman Broad. And this time does not lose the ball in the sky. He's able to make the catch. So on one pitch, Hopp is retired for the first out here in the 5th inning. All Yankees so far tonight at Yankee Stadium. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Yankees with a 5-0 lead over the Orioles. Adam Warren, the starter for the Yankees. Miguel Gonzalez going for the Orioles. Brian McCann has hit his 3rd home run of the season for New York. One on, one out. Here's Eric Kamatsu to the plate. First pitch, and he swings and fouls this back behind the plate. And the count 0-1. Mets down 2-1 to the Phillies, bottom of the 5th inning at Citizens Bank Park. Matt Harvey starting for the Mets, and Cole Hamels going for the Phillies, who have a home run from Ryan Howard, his 6th of the season. So the count 0-1 on Kamatsu, who is 2 for 2 today, with a single and a ground rule double. And the 0-1, breaking ball hits the outside corner for strike 2. A snap throw to first, it's going to go into right field. That'll allow Corona to go to second. He's going to turn second and try for 3. Here comes the throw in, not in time. So good aggressive base running there as Keith Castillo is going to get charged with the error. Try to make a snap throw down to first base and airmailed it over the head of David Cooper. So on the 2-base error, Regi Corona goes from 1st to 3rd. So the count stays at 0-2 here on Kamatsu. So runner at 3rd with 1 out. And the 0-2 on the way is swung on and slashed foul to the 3rd base side. And we'll keep the count right where it is. So a tough night here for Keith Castillo. As he picks up the error after a strikeout wild pitch last inning that kept the inning alive, and the Ducks scored a couple runs afterwards. Here's the 0-2. Komatsu swings, pops it foul, third base side out of play. We'll do it once again. And the final score on the out-of-town scoreboard tonight. They are in the second period at Madison Square Garden. Rangers and the Capitals are scoreless. Game 5 of their second round matchup. A Capitals win means the end of the season for the Rangers. A Rangers win means Game 6 on Sunday in Washington, D.C. Corona leads at third with one out. And the 0-2, swung and grounded to third, past the diving try of Portnick in a left field. Third hit of the game for Komatsu, and in to score from third is Riji Corona. It's an RBI single for Eric Komatsu. And the Ducks back to within 2 at 10-8. Well, Eric Komatsu with his best game of the young season. A single, an RBI ground rule double, and now an RBI single to left. And the Ducks have cut it back to within 2 at 10-8. And the tying run coming to the plate here in Dan Lyons. We'll have to wait and see whether or not that run ends up being earned or unearned. So here's Dan Lyons to the plate, who's 1 for 2 on the night. And he swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul up the first base line. They count 0-1. So Komatsu with 2 RBIs tonight, tripling his season total. And with the 3 hits, has doubled his season total from 3 to 6. He's a guy that Kevin Baez really wanted to get going at the plate. Stuck with him here tonight after the rough performance from Evan Crawford last night, both in the field and at the plate. Komatsu has shown Kevin Baez why he should stay in the lineup. 3 for 3, 0-1, and Lyons takes low and away. Good block by Keith Castillo. And that'll even up the count at 1-1. Lyons an RBI single to left, in his last at bat. That was back in the 4th inning. Lined out to short his first time up in the second. One. Evans comes set, kicks and fires, and Lyons swings and fouls this one off to the right field side. And the count goes to 1-2. Seems impossible to predict what a final score might be in this game. It seems like neither pitcher, neither side can really settle down the opponent's offense. Ducks had a 1-0 lead a 1-1 game going into the third. Lancaster scored 7, added a run in the 4th. Took a 9-1 lead as the 1-2 is a fastball low. The count 2-2. Ducks responded with 6 in the bottom of the 4th to make it a 9-7 game. Now the two teams thus far have traded in a run in the 5th. And that's where we stand right now, 10-8. Komatsu leads at first with 1 away. And the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball to the right side and through, a base hit for Dan Lyons. Komatsu will stop at second as Cavazos Galvez will field and fire it back in. 3 hits in the inning for the Ducks. And that's going to bring Butch Hobson out to the mound, and very well could spell the end of the night for Brian Evans, and indeed I think it will, as Butch Hobson has pointed down to the bullpen and left. So despite being given a 9-1 lead here in this game, Brian Evans struggling mightily against the Ducks, who have pounded out 11 hits against them and 8 runs. And they have a chance to tie the game, first and second, 1 out. Evans is out, new pitcher coming in. It's a wild one here at Bethpage Ballpark as the Ducks trail the Barnstormers 10-8.
Hey fans, this is Marty Jansen, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital in Bayshore is the healthcare heart of our community. We provide outstanding healthcare right here at home with centers of excellence in cardiology, orthopedics, neurosciences, women's health services, and much more. Experience counts, and North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital has been around for nearly a century of care. For more information, please call 631-968-3000 or visit us on the web at www.nslij.com.
The results are in. Thousands of PSEG Long Island customers participated in our energy efficiency programs, saving nearly $35 million. Being energy efficient helps our environment too. Together, we've eliminated 21,000 cars worth of emissions in 2014. Thank you, Long Island. We're all making a difference. Discover how we're improving every day to bring you better service at www.psegliny.com/efficiency.
Few places on earth offer the charm and excitement of Fire Island. At Fire Island Ferries, located conveniently at 99 Maple Avenue in Bay Shore, they offer convenient travel to Fire Island 7 days a week. Fire Island is quickly becoming a top destination for families of all ages. Experience the informal, carefree communities, the dazzling night scene, enjoy fine dining, or climb to the top of one of the tallest lighthouses in the United States. But there's only one way to get there, by calling Fire Island Ferries at 631-665-3600 today. For fare and scheduling information, please visit fireislandferries.com.
Well, probably the most wild game that we have seen this year. The Ducks, who fell behind 9-1 after 3.5 innings, have fought their way back, and the score now 10-8 as we play in the bottom half of inning number 5. The Ducks with 3 hits in the inning, a single by Corona, who went from first to third on a throwing error by the catcher Keith Castillo, and then an RBI single after a pop out. Eric Komatsu with the RBI single to left, and Lyons has followed with a single to right. And the Ducks have the tying runs at first and second, 1 out here for Brian Sabatella, the new pitcher in, and that is Pete Andrelzik. Right-hander looks to second, deals to the plate, and Sabatella takes the first pitch in for a fastball strike. And the count 0-1. Andrelzik making his 7th appearance of the year. He has been dominant so far, 1-0 with a 0.93 ERA. Sabatella tonight is 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs. And the 0-1 way outside, it gets past Castillo. It's going to go all the way back to the backstop. And on the wild pitch, the runners move up to second and third. A lot of sloppy play on both sides here tonight. The offense is looking good for both teams, but both sides have received breaks from the other team. That's now a base hit with Lyons' speed. Very well could tie this game. Here is Sabatella to bat from the right side with a 1-1 count, and Drelzik stands straight up on the mound, now comes set in a bit of a crouch. On the 1-1, Sabatella takes inside on a fastball, and the count goes to 2-1. Game that is over the 2-hour mark, and we're still playing here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Teams have combined for 18 runs on 18 hits. And we're still only in the 5th inning. 2-1 pitch from Andrelzik. Here it comes. And Sabatella lines this one into center field. That's going to be a base hit. Lyons to third. Kevin Bias sending him home. The throw to the plate from Blake Galen, not in time. Brian Sabatella with a 2-run single to center field. And we are all tied at 10 apiece. What a comeback for the Ducks. 8 runs down. They have come back to tie it at 10 here in the 5th inning. Sabatella with his 2nd hit of the night, now with 3 RBIs in the game, up to 9 on the season. Now the Ducks with 12 hits now in the game, and they have tied the score at 10 apiece. This pitch in for a called strike to Redmond, and the count 0-1. Redmond is 1 for 3 with a run scored. So those 2 runs are charged to Evans, which will end his line, and a rocky night for Evans, easily his worst start of the year. Same for Neeson. Fake over to first. Sabatella not going anywhere though. 4 hits in the inning for the Ducks in 5 batters, aided by an error and a wild pitch in this inning as well, though all the runs are earned. And now Andrelzik ready to deal 0-1. Runner goes. The pitch is fouled back to the screen behind home plate. Kevin Bias putting the hit and run on. The count 0-2. So the Ducks have fought back in this game and tied the score at 10 with 9 runs over the last 2 innings. still not done here, just 1 out in the 5th. But again, Kevin Baez needs 4 more innings at least out of his bullpen. And has already used 2 relievers, the second of which still in the game in Carmine Giardina. So it'll be an interesting way to see how this game ends. 0-2 from Andrelzik to Redmond. Kick in the pitch, and Redmond swings and lines it into left field. Another hit for the Ducks, their 13th of the game. Second for Redmond. And so the Ducks with runners at first and second, 1 out. The go-ahead run in scoring position. And up to the plate will step Lou Ford. So Redmond with 2 singles and 4 at-bats here. And now Lou Ford is going to come to the plate. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a walk here tonight. And with Sabatella's speed, a base hit here could give the Ducks their first lead of the night. What a wild contest here at Bethpage Ballpark. First pitch on the way, runners go. Ford takes low for a ball. The throw's going to second base, not in time. No, they say he's out. Oh, they say he was out. It looked like Redmond had gotten behind the tag of the second baseman, Broad, but the third base umpire, Tony Senia, said he was out. Kevin Baez arguing with Senia here near second base. It looked clear as day from here that the double steal had worked, but Tony Senia says he was caught stealing at second. And so now the second out in the inning, and a big break there for the Barnstormers. It will be a stolen base for Sabatella, his league-leading 6th of the year, and Redmond caught stealing 2-4. So now a runner at third with 2 down, and the 1-0 to Ford. There's a breaking ball in for a strike, the count 1-1. That call is huge because if the double steal works, which it looked like it had, a fly ball from Ford would give the Ducks the lead. Now that fly ball to give the lead is taken away because there are now 2 outs in the inning. So now the count of 1-1 here on Ford, who bats from the right side, and Drelzik kicks and fires, and Ford swings and slashes this foul to the first base side. And the count 1-2. So Keith Castillo throws down a second on the double steal, knowing he didn't have a chance at Sabatella. Had a better shot at Redmond. And they say Redmond was out despite appearing like he slid in behind the tag. The count of 1-2 here on Ford. And Drelzik fires, and Ford swings and grounds this one past the mound towards the middle. There is the second baseman, Broad. His throw to first low, but a nice scoop out by David Cooper at first. And that keeps the game tied. Well, the Ducks put 3 more runs on the scoreboard. 3 runs on 5 hits. 1 error in the inning, and 1 runner left on base. And after 5 innings tonight, we've got a brand new ball game. 10-10 the score as we go to the 6th inning.
Hey fans, this is left-handed pitcher Carmine Giardina, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
The results are in. PSEG Long Island is delivering 99.9% reliability. We got there by strengthening equipment and clearing trees along power lines across our area. And our new outage management system will continue to ensure improved communications and faster restoration. 99.9% reliable. It's one more way we're serving you better. Discover how we're improving every day to bring you better service at www.psegliny.com/reliability.
Baseball fans, the Long Island Ducks mobile app has officially arrived. Powered by Clear Vision Apps, it's your one-stop shop for all things Ducks baseball. Buy tickets straight from your mobile device. Receive game status updates with push notifications. Check out up-to-the-minute news and scores and interact with the Ducks on social media. Best of all, it's free. Download the Ducks mobile app today by visiting the App Store on your Apple-powered device or Google Play on your Android-powered device. The Long Island Ducks mobile app, with you wherever you flock to. Well, we go to the 6th inning here at Bethpage Ballpark in a game that started out evenly, but then turned into Lancaster's favor big time in the 3rd with a 7-run inning. However, the Ducks have tipped the scales back in their favor with a 6-run 4th inning and a 3-run fifth inning, despite single runs from the Barnstormers in the fourth and fifth. And we've got a brand new game here, 10-10 the score. And as we go to the final 4 innings of this game at least, it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. The last thing that either side wants, because both teams are thin in this game, is to have to play extra innings, especially the Ducks who played 14 yesterday. Carmine Giardina will stay in to pitch the 6th after he got out of a big jam in the 5th inning. And he deals up high for ball 1 to David Cooper, the first baseman and 5-hitter. Giardina got 3 straight outs with Yusuke Kajimoto at third and nobody down in the inning. And here Cooper, a foul pop to the third base side. Puckett chasing towards the stands. On the warning track, he won't have a play as it goes a row into the seats right behind the camera well. And so the count 1-1. What a wild game here. The Ducks have tied their season high in runs by scoring 10 here in this game. It'll be a 1-1 pitch here to Cooper, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Pitch on the way, in for a called strike, and Giardina ahead 1-2. Barnstormers' season high in runs is 11. They scored 11 April 29th in New York. Their opponent's season high is 10, which has been tied here tonight, as this one skips low and away from Hop, and so the count 2-2. Last time they gave up 10 was May 2nd against Southern Maryland a week ago tomorrow. So it'll be a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch on the way here to David Cooper. Lefty-lefty matchup. Giardina kicks and fires, and Cooper swings and misses for strike 3. Chased down and away. First strikeout for Giardina, and the 7th for Ducks pitching tonight. That is out number 1. Well, for Frank DiGiulio Jr. today, he goes 1 inning plus 2 batters, gives up 2 hits and 2 runs, one of which was earned. Walked a batter and struck out a batter, threw a wild pitch as well. I'm sorry, hit a batter, did not throw a wild pitch. A hit batter on the walk that he allowed, both of those runs came home to score. And that after Eric Neeson walked 6 batters, 4 of which came home to score. Here's Brian Cavazos Galvez to the plate, who has a grand slam in 3 trips to the plate tonight. First pitch, and he takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. Cavazos Galvez, a foul pop to third in the opening inning, a grand slam on the first pitch he saw in the 3rd. And then he was hit by a pitch and scored a run on a pass ball in the 4th. Here he pops it up a mile high, foul territory, third base side. Hawk chasing towards the Barnstormer dugout, but this will be at least 4 or 5 rows back. That'll even up the count at 1-1. Final line for Brian Evans of the Barnstormers, 4 1/3 innings. Gave up 11 hits, 10 runs, all of them earned. Walked the batter and struck out 2. Threw a wild pitch, hit a batter, and threw 89 pitches, 59 of them for strikes. 1-1 the count. Giardina steps off. He wants to go through the signs again with Dylan Haupt. So a bit of a learning curve here for some of these pitchers and for the catcher Haupt, who again is a young catcher, just 23 years old. 1-1, and Cavazos Galvez takes low and away for a ball. And I believe one of the lights just went off down the left field line. Time called here by Frank LeParic because one of the field lights down the left field line has gone off here at the Duck Pond. We'll have a bit of a delay. It all of a sudden looked like the field got dark down the left field line. And now we'll have a bit of a delay to see what's going on with the field lights. Ducks president and general manager Michael Pfaff right now is heading down towards the field on the third base side to talk things over with home plate umpire Frank LeParic. See what is going on. I don't know if we just had a brief power surge or power outage. All the other lights are on here at Bethpage Ballpark, but it was the one in left that went out briefly. And I don't think it is back on yet. I'm sure the Ducks maintenance crew is checking that out. See what is going on here. And we'll try and get things reset. Again, the count 2-1 with 1 out and the base is empty here in the top of the 6th inning in a game that's already been slowed down because of all the offense. 20 runs, 20 hits combined between the two teams. Now a delay here as we have a power issue at the left field foul field light. The two in the outfield look fine. The ones behind the seating bowl look fine from what we can tell, but it was the one out in left field in foul territory that had an issue. Kevin Baez, the Ducks manager, coming out onto the field here to find out the story from Michael Pfaff and from the umpiring crew. So again, to recap, the Barnstormers took a 1-0 lead in the top half of this first inning, of this game, on 2 walks and then an RBI single from Henry Wrigley. The Ducks in the bottom half of the inning equaled the score at 1 when Brian Sabatella doubled the lead off, and then Lou Ford brought him home with an RBI single. And it stayed 1-1 until the third when the Barnstormers sent 11 men to the plate and knocked around Eric Neeson. In fact, he knocked him out of the game. 2 walks to start the inning, a third walk after a strikeout, loaded the bases for Brian Cavazos Galvez, who hit a grand slam out to left field on the first pitch he got from Eric Neeson. Several of the Ducks heading off the field now as they await this delay. Usually with field lights and things like that, it does take some time for lights to reset and turn back on. So a delay here at the Duck Pond as they wait for that to happen. And then after the grand slam by Cavazos Galvez, Keith Castillo grounded out to third on a nice play by Cody Puckett. Then Eric Neeson dropped a tossed ball from the first baseman John Griffin on a ground ball by Lance Sawatsky. And on the error by Neeson, the inning continued. Michael Broad followed with a 2-run home run, and Yusuke Kajimoto followed with a solo home run. And so 7 runs on 3 hits and a big error in that third inning gave the Barnstormers an 8-1 lead. They would add another run in the fourth inning against Frank DiGiulio, as with 2 outs he hit a batter, gave up a double to right, and then a pass ball scored the run. And so the Ducks trailed 9-1 going into the bottom of the fourth. However, Long Island responded with 6 runs against Brian Evans. In the inning with 1 out, John Griffin was hit by a pitch. Rigi Corona followed with a run-scoring triple into the right center field gap. After the RBI triple, Dylan Humpt struck out swinging, but on the wild pitch, which Keith Castillo could not handle, Humpt was able to reach first base. So the Ducks had runners at the corners with 1 out for Eric Kamatsu. Kamatsu then lifted an RBI ground rule double to right field, after which there was a delay because they could not tell whether it was a home run or a ground rule double, but they do rule a ground rule double for Kamatsu. And then Dan Lyons followed with an RBI single to left. That made it at the time, that was the 4th run that had scored in the inning, so that made it a 9-5 game. Ryan Sabatella, then an RBI fielder's choice on a grounder to third, scored a run. And with that run, the score was 9-6. And Prentice Redmond singled, Lou Ford walked, and Cody Puckett delivered a 2-run single. So the Ducks had closed to within 9-7 in the 4th inning. And then after the Barnstormers scored a run in the 5th inning, the Ducks with 3 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. As in the inning, Rigi Corona started off with a single to left. Dylan Humpt popped to second. Eric Kamatsu followed with an RBI single to left. And after a single to right by Dan Lyons, Brian Sabatella, facing Pete Andrelzik, delivered a 2-run single to center field. That's where we stand right now. 10 runs on 7 hits and an error for the Barnstormers, 10 runs, 13 hits and an error for the Ducks. Well, while we have this delay, we're going to take a break, and we'll come right back, get you an update as to what's going on as soon as we can. Again, 2-1 the count, 1 out, and the base is empty here in the top of the 6th. Carmine Giardina pitching. And a delay here due to a brief power outage as the left field foul territory light has gone out here at Bethpage Ballpark.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Patrick Kreider, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Start by attending a free MCU home buying seminar. Then speak with one of our loan specialists who will guide you through the loan process. With an affordable mortgage from Municipal Credit Union, Home Sweet Home will be a little sweeter. Call 212-238-3521 or visit nymcu.org to apply for your mortgage today. Municipal Credit Union. Strong, trusted, growing. Municipal Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender.
James Simmons is going back. He is looking up, and on the park night, that one is gone and reaches a kennel in Central Islip.
That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Hey fans, this is Bud Harrelson, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital in Bayshore is the healthcare heart of our community. We provide outstanding health care right here at home with centers of excellence in cardiology, orthopedics, neurosciences, women's health services, and much more. Experience counts, and North Shore LIJ Southside Hospital has been around for nearly a century of care. For more information, please call 631-968-3000 or visit us on the web at www.nslij.com.
Few places on earth offer the charm and excitement of Fire Island. At Fire Island Ferries, located conveniently at 99 Maple Avenue in Bayshore, they offer convenient travel to Fire Island 7 days a week. Fire Island is quickly becoming a top destination for families of all ages. Experience the informal, carefree communities, the dazzling night scene, enjoy fine dining, or climb to the top of one of the tallest lighthouses in the United States. But there's only one way to get there, by calling Fire Island Ferries at 631-665-3600 today. For fare and scheduling information, please visit fireislandferries.com.
Well, we are back here at Bethpage Ballpark. Long Island Ducks and the Lancaster Barnstormers in the first game of this four-game series. And the first of 4 games in a span of about 36 hours. 6:35 start time tonight. And then tomorrow we have a day-night doubleheader, 7-inning game that begins at 1:05, and then a 9-inning game that begins at 6:35. And then after that, a 1:35 quick turnaround on Sunday. So about 4 games in a span of 36 hours here. The Ducks and the Barnstormers in a wild one here. 10-10 the score as we play. And now we just had a delay that lasted probably about 10-15 minutes or so, because a field light in left field down the left field line in foul territory went out. It appears that the light has come back on, though. The Ducks have retaken the field, and we will continue action here on this Friday night. Temps have cooled down a bit here at the ballpark. Still a comfortable night for baseball. I don't have an official time exactly of when it started. I will have to try and figure that out after the fact. But either way, a game that has been a back and forth battle, one that saw the Barnstormers take a 9-1 lead after 3.5 innings. The Ducks have roared back with 9 runs over the last 2 innings to tie the game at 10. And so here, Carmine Giardina back to the mound. Will take some warm-up tosses, and with a thin bullpen, Carmine Giardina has to sit through a little bit of a delay and now has to throw extra pitches to warm up after this delay. So Bob Oton, the public address announcer for the Ducks, thanking the fans for their patience and understanding during the delay here. But now we are ready to resume baseball. Again, a 2-ball, 1-strike count on Brian Cavazos Galvez before that light went out down the left field line. So the Ducks return to the field, and we are just about ready to continue play as the left-hander Giardina goes to take the mound again. 2-ball, 1-strike count coming up. Giardina looks in for the sign from Haupt and comes set. And the pitch is popped up a mile high on the infield behind the mound. The second baseman, Reggie Corona, camped under it. And Corona will make the catch. So on the first pitch after the lengthy delay, a pop out to second. Cavazos Galvez retired, and 2 away.
Catcher number 28, Keith Castillo.
So that'll bring Keith Castillo to the plate, the catcher, switch hitter batting from the right side, who is 1 for 3 here tonight. First pitch, and this is taken low and inside for ball 1. Castillo a double to right in the 4th inning with 2 out. Put runners at second and third. Before that, a grounder to short and a grounder to third. 1-0. Castillo takes outside from Giardina. And the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. So the Ducks trying to keep the Barnstormers off the scoreboard for the first time since the 2nd inning. It's the only inning in which Lancaster didn't score in this game. They've had at least 1 runner on in every inning except for the 6th here. Giardina working out of the stretch, comes set, deals, and Castillo fouls it off down the first base line. And the count goes to 2-1. Castillo, a former Duck. He was with the Ducks at the beginning of last season before they released him, and he ended up going to the Barnstormers. At the Ducks last year, he hit .216 with 3 homers and 17 runs batted in. Here he swings and misses. And count 2-2. Hit well with Lancaster. Ultimately finished at .265 on the year with 5 home runs and 27 runs batted in. Here comes the 2-2, and Giardina deals low. So that'll run the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Castillo actually was traded to the Grand Prairie Air Hogs in the American Association for a player to be named later on July 7th. And then eventually he became a Barnstormer. So the count full on Castillo, 3-2, as Giardina tries to work a 1-2-3 6th inning. Lance Sawatsky would be next. And the payoff pitch is low for ball 4. The Ducks have been victimized at points with 2 outs, and they walk their 8th batter of the game. As Giardina gives the free pass to Castillo. That's the 4th walk drawn by Castillo this year. And that'll give Lance Sawatsky an opportunity with 2 down and the runner at first. We've seen 2 out base runners that have been given free passes end up leading to bigger things. And the last thing Giardina wants to do after the Ducks just tied the score is allow the inning to continue after Sawatsky. The first pitch, and he will take a ball outside. It's been a fairly tight strike zone here tonight from Frank Leparic. Count 1-0. Getting a little foggy here, too, at Bethpage Ballpark. You can look into those outfield lights and some fog drifting in here at Bethpage Ballpark. Giardina's 1-0 pitch, and Sawatsky will take low and outside again. And Giardina nibbling now and unable to get him to chase in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Michael Broad waiting on deck, and he has had a terrific night at the plate, so you don't want him to come up with 2 runners on base. He's got a single, a 2-run homer, and a walk. So Castillo will lead it first with 2 down. And the 2-0 from Giardina. Misses low and outside for ball 3. 2 quick outs in the inning despite having that delay in between. And then after getting ahead on Castillo, walks him. And now 3-0 on Lance Sawatsky, the 8-hitter. Here's the 3-0 from Giardina, and Sawatsky takes way up high for ball 4. Back-to-back 2-out walks issued by Giardina. And big no-nos here has upset the crowd at Bethpage Ballpark. A chance to get through the 6th inning and make a statement, keeping the team ahead, or keeping the game tied at 10. And Giardina has walked 2 in a row, and that's going to bring Marty Jansen, the pitching coach for the Ducks, out to the mound. And again, we've said it before, but the Ducks playing with a thin bullpen. You can't afford your pitchers to start throwing too many pitches here in these innings because you don't have guys that you can really go to behind them since you're so limited in the bullpen. And this just runs the pitch count of Giardina up, allowing 2 straight walks with 2 outs. He's now at 25 pitches. And again, we've still got at least 3 innings to go after this inning is over. So So here is Michael Broad, who's been on base all 3 times he's come up tonight, and a huge moment in the ball game here with the Ducks having rallied back to tie it at 10. Lancaster has taken advantage of 2 walks here in the 6th to keep the inning alive, and Carmine Giardina needs to dig down here and try and find his way out of trouble. So here is Broad to bat from the right side. A single, a 2-run homer, and a walk so far in this game. First pitch from Giardino. That fastball hits the outside corner for strike 1. Again, there hasn't been much wiggle room in terms of the pitchers in this game because the strike zone from Frank Leparek has been fairly small here. Castillo leads at second, Zawadzki at first with 2 down. And the 0-1 from Giardino. Broad swings and slashes it foul into the stands on the first base side. And it seems like everybody is okay, thankfully, but that was a rocket into the stands on the first base side behind the Ducks dugout. Everyone seems to be okay. So ahead in the count is Giardina, 0-2 on the 9-hitter Michael Broad, trying to get out of trouble after issuing back-to-back 2-out walks. Giardina gets the sign, he comes set. Looks to second. The 0-2 breaking ball missed outside for ball 1. 10-10 game, top of the 6th inning. First of 4 in 3 days between these 2 teams. These 2 teams will meet again next weekend when the Ducks head to Lancaster for 4 more. A weekend wraparound series at Clipper Magazine Stadium. 1-2 pitch, and Broad swings and misses for strike 3. Giardina is able to get out of trouble as he strikes out Michael Broad after allowing back-to-back 2-out walks. So no runs, no hits, a couple of walks, and 2 left for the Barnstormers. We head to the bottom of the 6th as the Ducks and the Lancaster Barnstormers are tied at 10.
Hey fans, this is outfielder Eric Kamatsu, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
James Simmons is going back. He is looking up, and on the Park Night, that one is gone and reaches a kennel in Central Islip.
That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Well, Carmine Giardino works in and out of trouble in the 6th inning, issuing 2 walks with 2 outs, but he gets a strikeout of Michael Broad to get out of the inning, and for the first time since the 2nd, the Barnstormers are held off the scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the 6th, all tied at 10 apiece. Michael Pollack here, bringing you all the action from Bethpage Ballpark on this Friday night here on the Ducks flagship radio station, 103.9 FM, LI News Radio, and online at linewsradio.com and liducks.com with live video and audio coming to you via the Ducks official YouTube channel. Ducks will send Cody Puckett, John Griffin, and Ricci Corona to the plate here in the 6th inning against Pete Andrelsic, who will stay in the game after allowing a 2-run single by Brian Sabatella in the 5th that tied the game, and then a single by Prentice Redmond, who was then caught stealing, according to Tony Senia, the third base umpire, on a double steal, and Lou Ford grounded to second to end the inning. So the game is tied at 10. Ducks are out hitting the Barnstormers 13-7. And Cody Puckett is going to start things off, but before that happens, it looks like Pete Andrelzik might have hurt himself. And Butch Hobson, the manager of the Barnstormers, is going to come out of the dugout to check on his right-hander. Robin Widener, who is the acting trainer for Lancaster, also coming out to check on the right-hander. And so we have yet another delay in the game here as Lancaster's manager checks on the right-hander, who convinces Butch Hobson that he is okay. And both Butch Hobson and Robin Widener will head back to the dugout. Ashley Wenger is the primary trainer for Lancaster, but she is out of town this weekend for a wedding, and so Robin Widener serving as the pinch trainer. So Andrelzik will stay in, and up to the plate will step Cody Puckett, who delivered a 2-run single in his last at-bat. That was back in the 4th inning. That made this a 9-7 game. First pitch on the way, and Puckett takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Puckett, before the 2-run single, a pop out to second and a fly out to center. And here the ball misses low and outside. That'll leave the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Puckett with the 2 RBIs, now up to 10 on the season. And the hit was his 16th. And Andrelzik out of the wind, fires, and Puckett takes inside. And that runs the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Long Island looking for their first lead of the game as the 2-1 on the way. It's swung on and hit high in the air to left center field. Going back is Blake Galen to the warning track, and in deep left center, he will make the catch to retire Puckett for the first out. Cody Puckett gave it a ride, flirting with his league-leading 5th home run. But ultimately, the ball dies on the warning track. Earlier in the game, that might have had a chance to go out, but the temps have dropped down here into the low 60s. And a lot of fog rolling in here, so a much more humid atmosphere, which does not bode well for baseballs leaving the yard. Again, we talked about Pete Andrelzik's numbers as much as we could in the 5th inning before he gave up that 2-run single. First pitch here to Griffin. It's a breaking ball low for ball 1. This season, he's thrown 9 2/3 innings entering tonight. 6 hits and a run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts for the right-hander out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Born there and still lives there. He's 29 years old, and here a foul ball back behind the plate evens the count at 1-1 on Griffin. Griffin and Haupt, the only 2 Ducks without hits in this game, but everybody in the Ducks lineup has reached base safely except for Haupt, who reached on a strikeout wild pitch. Be a 1-1 in this righty-righty matchup, and Andrelzik gets the sign. Kicks and fires home, and Griffin takes outside for ball 2. Andrelzik, a returner from a year ago. Last year with the Barnstormers, appeared in 70 games, 5-8 record with a 3.66 ERA, 5 saves. 2-1, big breaking ball, missed up and inside. And the count goes to 3-1. Andrelzik started the year as the closer, but ran into early struggles and was taken out of that role. 3-1, here comes the pitch to Griffin, who is trying to reach with 1 out in the 6th. And the pitch is a breaking ball hit in the air to left. Well hit. Going back is Kajimoto. Warning track, and he'll make the catch. So the Ducks hit 2 long balls to the warning track in left field. 1 to left center, 1 to left. Both of them caught. And that is the 2nd out here in the 6th inning.
Long Island Ducks second baseman number 11, Rigi Corona, number 11.
Well, up to the plate steps Rigi Corona, who is the hottest Duck of them all right now with the way he has been hitting. Another multi-hit game tonight. He is 2 for 3 with a single, a triple, a run batted in, and 2 runs scored. For Corona, his 3rd straight multi-hit game. He's now hit safely in 7 straight games. And he takes the fastball on the outside corner for strike 1 to start this at bat. Corona's first at bat was a fly out to right, but has reached twice since and has scored both times he has reached. The 0-1. Corona takes outside this time. Now leaving up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 10-10 score, bottom of the 6th inning. As both teams trying to hold the other scoreless here in the 6th inning. 1-1 on the way. Corona takes a breaking ball over the outside edge for another called strike. And the count goes to 1-2. Ducks have compiled 13 hits in this game. The offense, which struggled in the first 2 games against Bridgeport, came to life early yesterday before going cold again from the 3rd through the 10th, and then ultimately lost 7-6 in 14 innings. 1-2, Corona swings and taps this one to the first base side of the mound. Andrelzik will field the underhand toss to first in time for the out. And a strong inning for Andrelzik as the Ducks go down 1-2-3. So we'll take this game to the 7th inning. Again, the score remains the Long Island Ducks 10 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 10.
Hey fans, this is Blake Davis, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball, Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
Spring into a new Honda at Huntington Honda and pay $59 a month for a new 2015 Honda Civic LX sedan. $59. So spring into Huntington Honda on Jericho Turnpike just east of Route 110 or HuntingtonHondaCars.com.
Huntington Honda, discover the difference.
Auto 24-month lease, total due at inception. Civic $31.90 includes bank fee, first month's payment, no security deposit. Taxes, DMV, title fees extra with excellent credit through HFS.
Have your birthday at the ballpark this season and celebrate with the flock. Kona Ice birthday party packages with the Long Island Ducks are now available. Each package includes 10 box seats, a commemorative birthday t-shirt and autographed baseball, a pizza and Kona Ice party in the Hebrew National Picnic area, and so much more. Best of all, the birthday child will stand on the dugout while the entire crowd sings happy birthday. Reserve your party today by calling the group sales department at 631-940-3825. Kona Ice birthday parties with the Long Island Ducks, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Ducks fans follow all season long as the Long Island Ducks try to meet the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 home runs, Chappie's Funeral Homes will donate $5,000 to the Quacker Jack Foundation. Chappie's Funeral Homes, where caring for others is our family tradition. Well, Kevin Byes going to his 3rd reliever here tonight as he calls on the left-hander Patrick Kreider, after 2 innings from Carmine Giardina in which he holds the Barnstormers off the scoreboard. So good job by the left-hander. 2 innings, no hits or runs allowed. He did walk 2 batters, but he struck out 2 and got out of the jam in the 5th and the 6th. Came in with a runner at 3rd, no out in the 5th, and got 3 straight outs without allowing the runner to score. And then in the 6th, gave up a pair of 2-out walks before striking out Michael Broad to get out of the inning. So after Eric Neeson's rough start and a rocky relief appearance from Frank DiGiulio Jr., Carmine Giardina settles things down somewhat. And now into the ball game is Patrick Kreider. And for Kreider, he is appearing in his 3rd straight game. So could be unlikely that we see him tomorrow, although yesterday just 4 pitches thrown for the left-hander. First pitch on the way, and Kajimoto takes low and outside for ball 1. Kajimoto has had a very good ball game so far. He had a solo homer back in the 3rd, had an RBI triple to left in the 5th inning. Before that, a walk and a run in the 1st and a strikeout in the 2nd. Here's the 1-0. And Kajimoto takes low and outside for ball 2. Ducks in desperate need right now of pitchers who can throw strikes. Long Island's pitching staff has walked 9 batters in this game, a season high. And they cannot afford to continue issuing free passes if they want to have any hope of winning this game. 2-0. That fastball missed somewhere. I would think a little bit low, but seemed pretty close. And the count 3-0. Lots of fog rolling in now from right to left here at Bethpage Ballpark. A 3-0 pitch. There's a fastball strike from Kreider. Kreider pitched in yesterday's game. Came in the 9th inning, gave up a leadoff single to Luis Rodriguez and then a sac bunt, then was lifted for Ryan Cushmall, who was able to get out of the jam. 3-1 on the outside corner, another good fastball, and the count 3-2. For Kreider overall, this is his 7th appearance of the year. He's 0-1 with a 7.5 ERA. Ducks bullpen that started off the season so well has started to struggle of late. 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Good job by Patrick Kreider. He fell behind 3-0. Got 2 fastballs in for a strike. And then blew him away with the fastball. First strikeout for Kreider, the 9th for Ducks pitching. And with one out, that'll bring Tyler Bortnick to the plate.
Number 3, the Pizza Hut Caveman.
Well, here is Tyler Bortnick, who has walked 3 times in this game, and his first at-bat came in the 5th when he looked at a foul pop-up to the catcher, Dylan Haupt. Kreider's first pitch to him, hit on the ground past the mound. Dan Lyons, the shortstop, there, and his throw to first in time. So Bortnick retired on 1 pitch, and they were 2 away here in the 7th.
Center fielder number 2, Blake Galen, number 2.
So with 2 down and the bases empty, here is Blake Galen to the plate. Galen, one of 4 Barnstormers without a hit in this game. Lancaster only has 7 hits, but as we mentioned before, 9 walks drawn by the Barnstormers. They've had 1 batter hit by a pitch and had 1 reach on an error. Now, the first pitch here is a big breaking ball from Kreider. Must have missed a little low. And the count 1-0. Galen 0 for 3 in the game. The only time he reached was in the 3rd when he walked and scored on the grand slam by Cavazos Galvez. 1-0. That curveball misses low again. And Kreider behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Group getting ready to sing God Bless America here on the lower concourse, Lee Road Elementary School in Levittown. Kreider's 2-0 on the way, and Galen will take low and outside for ball 3. And in the last inning, Patrick Kreider got the first 2 hitters out easily, walked back-to-back hitters, but ultimately got out of the jam. You don't want to test fate here. And Kreider 1 pitch away from walking Galen with 2 out. Kicking the pitch, and Galen takes low for ball 4. And so a 2-out walk issued by Patrick Kreider. And that is the 10th walk given up by Ducks pitching tonight. On the season, the Ducks pitching staff entering tonight had issued 39 walks, kind of middle of the pack in the Atlantic League, now up to 49, which if no other team had given up a walk tonight would put them second behind the Bluefish, who have given up 51. Here's Henry Wrigley now, the cleanup hitter in DH. First pitch misses low and outside, and Kreider's lost the strike zone here in the 7th. 5 straight out of the zone after getting 2 quick outs, and the count 1-0. Wrigley is 1 for 4. The 1 hit was an RBI single to right back in the 1st inning. The 1-0 pitch, swinging a line drive in the center. Lou Ford is right there. He will make the catch, and Patrick Kreider works around the 2-out walk. So no runs, no hits, and 1 runner left on base for the Barnstormers, who have left 9. It is time to stretch at Bethpage Ballpark with the score 10-10. We're going to keep it right here, though, as we send it down to the Lee Road Elementary School, who is down here on the lower concourse and ready to sing God Bless America on this Friday night. Nicely done by Lee Road Elementary School. God Bless America here on this Friday night. We'll take a break and come back. 7th inning stretch at Bethpage Ballpark. A wild one here tonight. 10-10 the score between the Ducks and the Barnstormers.
Hey fans, this is Blake Davis, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball, Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
Hey, Ducks fans, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks is the Upsky Long Island Hotel in Hauppauge. It's centrally located on the north shore of Long Island and offers a home away from home for both business and leisure guests. The Upsky Long Island Hotel features an indoor pool, 24-hour business center, a fitness center, and complimentary Wi-Fi in all guest rooms. Enjoy the contemporary American cuisine at the Fountain Grill restaurant or grab a quick bite to eat at Cafe Pronto. Best of all, it's only minutes from Bethpage Ballpark. The Upsky Long Island Hotel, the official hotel of the Long Island Ducks. Call 231-1100 today. That's 631-231-1100.
Family fun every time. Beautiful evening for baseball. Big action every time. He reaches up, it's gone! Great value every time. And the Ducks have won it 7-1.
The Ducks schedule is loaded with new promotions this season, and with an average ticket price of just $10 and free parking, there is no better value on Long Island. For game times and tickets, visit liducks.com. Long Island Ducks baseball. Good times every time.
Bottom half of the 7th inning as the Long Island Ducks and the Lancaster Barnstormers opening up this 4-game set. It's been a wild one. Lancaster had a 9-1 lead at one point. The Ducks have rallied back, and it is a 10-10 game as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And for the Barnstormers, they call on a new pitcher. It is left-hander Brian Morgado who will come in, and he'll face the bottom 3 in the Ducks order: Dylan Haupt, Eric Komatsu, and Dan Lyons. Well, Ducks fans, the next time you come here to Bethpage Ballpark, don't forget to stop by the Waddle Inn Shop, the official merchandise store of the Ducks, where exclusive hard-to-find memorabilia is now on sale. Proceeds benefit the Quacker Jack Foundation, the charitable arm of the Long Island Ducks. Well, it'll be Dylan Haupt to lead things off against the left-hander Brian Morgado, who has been an Atlantic League veteran. Lefty out of the bullpen. The Ducks trying to break this 10-10 tie and get their first lead of the night. Things have settled down here in the last inning and a half with no runs coming home to score. First pitch is a fastball strike over the outside corner. Last year, Morgado split time with both the Camden River Sharks and the York Revolution. Pitched in 49 games combined between the two teams. The 0-1 misses up and outside, even the count. Morgado with York was 0-0, 3.16 ERA in 24 games. 1-2 with a 2.29 ERA in 25 games with the River Sharks. 1-1. And Haupt to check swinging a ball diving down in the zone. They appeal the first. Mario Rosas says he did not go around. And the count goes to 2-1. Haupt in this game 0 for 3. But he did reach base on a strikeout wild pitch in the 4th inning and eventually came home to score on the Dan Lyons RBI single. 2-1 over the inside corner, a breaking ball in for a called strike. Fans didn't like the call, but the count is now even at 2-2. Eric Komatsu has had a great day waiting on deck. Dan Lyons, who has also hit well, waits in the hole. Morgado from the wide, and the 2-2 offering is taken right down the middle for strike 3. Haupt frozen at home plate on the fastball from Morgado. First strikeout for the left-hander. Just a third for Barnstormer pitching in this game, and there's one away. Pete Andrelczyk ends up going 1 2/3 innings, 2 hits and no runs, but he did give up the 2-run single by Brian Sabatella in the 5th that tied the game. The runs, though, were the responsibility of Brian Evans. No walks or strikeouts either for Andrelczyk. Fog continuing to roll in here at Bethpage Ballpark. With one out, here's Eric Komatsu, who is 3 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch misses way outside on a fastball for ball 1. Komatsu a single to right in the 2nd, a ribby ground rule double in the 4th, and a single to left that plated a run in the 5th. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Big breaking ball, and he cut through it. Leaving up the count at 1-1. First 3-hit game of the year for Komatsu. First multi-hit game as well. With 2 RBIs, he is now up to 3 on the year. And he's now 6 for 29. Average cracks the 200 mark now. Really thick fog moving in overhead. And a 1-1. That's in over the inside corner for a strike. Ducks being patient at the plate now, but Morgado throwing strikes. And the count 1-2. Morgado, a 6'3", 205-pound left-hander, born and resides in Miami, Florida. 26 years old. A former 4th-round pick of the Philadelphia Phillies back in 2010. 1-2 on the way. Komatsu swings, lines this one to short. Caught there by Zawatsky. And Komatsu flirting with his 4th hit of the game, but Zawatsky right there. And now 6 straight Ducks batters have been retired since Prentice Redmond was caught stealing 2nd in the 5th. 2 outs, that'll leave it up to the Ducks shortstop and 9-hitter Dan Lyons.
Number 12, Dan Lyons. Number 12.
Not necessarily a bad idea if you're a Ducks hitter to try and put the ball in the air here. With all of this fog, might be difficult for the fielders to see the ball in the fog. Well, it's starting to break up a little bit now. First pitch on the way from Morgado to Lyons, and it misses up and away for ball 1. Morgado in the Phillies organization made it up to High A Clearwater in the Florida State League. But never further than that. Played in 2013 with the New Jersey Jackals. And the Can-Am League, this one misses low. The count 2-0. The bases empty, 2 down in a 10-10 game. Ducks trying to get a little rally going here against Morgado. A 2-0. Fastball hits the outside corner for a strike. And the count now 2-1. Lions 2 singles and 3 at-bats in this game. An RBI single to left in the 4th. And then a single to right in the 5th. Scored once, in this game. The 2-1 misses low and inside for ball 3. So Lions ahead in the count here, and he will try and reach. He would represent the go-ahead run. And with his speed, if he can get on base, Kevin Baez very likely could try and have him steal second, although you do have the lefty on the mound. So can't get too big of a lead. 3-1 pitch on the way from the left-hander, and Lyons takes a fastball over the outside corner for strike 2. The count has gone full on the Ducks shortstop. Ducks out hitting Lancaster 13-7 here in this game, and Morgado, who on the season has appeared in 4 games, has allowed 3 runs, 1 earned in 2 1/3 innings. Deals a 3-2, and Lyons takes a called strike 3 over the inside corner. Lyons did not like that call, had already flipped the bat away, and now he's got his hands on his hips in a conversation with home plate umpire Frank LePeric. And now Kevin Baez will come in and join the discussion. Lyons did not like that call. And so Baez and LePeric having the discussion, and that'll end the inning. 2 strikeouts from Morgado. Ducks go in order in the 7th, and we go to the 8th. All tied at 10 apiece.
Hey fans, this is first baseman John Griffin, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
Few places on earth offer the charm and excitement of Fire Island. At Fire Island Ferries, located conveniently at 99 Maple Avenue in Bay Shore, they offer convenient travel to Fire Island 7 days a week. Fire Island is quickly becoming a top destination for families of all ages. Experience the informal, carefree communities, the dazzling night scene, enjoy fine dining, or climb to the top of one of the tallest lighthouses in the United States. But there's only one way to get there, by calling Fire Island Ferries at 631-665-3600 today. For fare and scheduling information, please visit fireislandferries.com.
Hey Ducks fans, stay up to date with Long Island's hometown team by visiting Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. Quack of the Bat will bring Ducks fans beyond the headlines with in-depth feature articles, breaking news stories, game previews, post-game wrap-ups, and so much more. Interact with the team during the entire season through quotes directly from the players and coaches, as well as exclusive video clips and photos. Check out the blog today at quackofthebat.wordpress.com. Quack of the Bat, the official blog of the Long Island Ducks. Fans, it's become a chilly night here, so why not warm up with a hot cup of Hampton Coffee Company gourmet coffee available at the concession stands here at Bethpage Ballpark. Regular and decaf Hampton Coffee is the preferred coffee of the Long Island Ducks. Visit HamptonCoffeeCompany.com or visit their cafes in the Hamptons. New pitcher is in for the Ducks. And surprisingly, it's right-hander Amalio Diaz, who threw an inning in yesterday's game in relief and had to throw 25 pitches. Did not expect to see him in the game tonight. But after Patrick Kreider pitches in the 7th inning, Kevin Baez elects to turn it over to Diaz, who has struggled a bit of late. And we'll see if Diaz can keep the Barnstormers off the scoreboard. It'll be Cooper, Cavazos Galvez, and Castillo coming to the plate. 10-10 game as we move on to the 8th inning. Both teams, after scoring 20 runs in the first 5 innings, have been held scoreless over the past 2 innings. And neither side seems to want to make the mistake here that leads to the other team scoring the go-ahead run. So here is David Cooper to begin things against Amalio Diaz, who in yesterday's game allowed the tying run to score in the 7th inning, trying to protect a 5-4 lead, gave up a run on a 2-strike, 2-out, wild pitch off the glove of Jose Morales. First pitch on the way to David Cooper. And the fastball is lifted down the left field line, foul for strike 1. Cooper in this game has gone 0 for 3 with a walk. The walk and the run came in back in the 3rd inning. He has struck out twice and fly to center in his other 3 at-bats. Diaz gets the sign and comes set. The 0-1. Cooper grounds this one to second. Gobbled up there by Rigi Corona, and he throws to first in time. So on just 2 pitches, David Cooper is retired, and that is the first out of the 8th inning. Amalio Diaz on the year has appeared in 7 games, no record, 3.86 ERA. He's allowed 4 runs, 3 earned on 7 hits in 7 innings, 3 walks to 11 strikeouts. And pitching for a 2nd straight day. So it'll be interesting to see what the Ducks have tomorrow to use in the day game of the doubleheader. First pitch up coming here to Brian Cavazos Galvez. And the pitch is taken on the outside corner for strike 1. The Ducks have Bruce Kern starting, but he's not going to be able to go more than an inning or 2. He pitched in yesterday's game, not stretched out to go more than an inning or 2. Fortunately for the Ducks, it's just a 7-inning game. And the 0-1, Cavazos Galvez grounds this one to third. Couple hops for Cody Puckett. Sets and throws across the diamond, and a perfect strike to John Griffin for out number 2. So a good start for Amalio Diaz here as he induces a pair of groundouts. With 2 down on the bases empty, Keith Castillo will come up, and again, some dense fog rolling in overhead here at Bethpage Ballpark. This game really has seen everything. It's seen some crazy hits, crazy rallies by both teams. A ton of walks, 10 walks given up by the Ducks, only 1 though by Barnstormer pitching. However, they've given up 13 hits. It's seen an error on each side that has produced big innings. First pitch on the way. Fastball over the inside corner for strike 1. It's also seen a 10-minute power outage delay when the foul pole lights down the left field line. A big light tower in foul territory down the left field line went out for 10 minutes and caused a delay back in the 6th inning. Diaz is 0-1 to Castillo, who was 1 for 3 with a walk. Takes the fastball on the outside corner, another called strike in the count, 0-2. Frank Leparic's strike zone seems to be widening a little bit here as the game has gone on, and a lot of his strike calls are delayed too. That is how he is. He always kind of waits a second or 2 before he goes and makes the call. So the count 0-2 on Castillo, switch hitter from the left side. Diaz trying to work a 1-2-3 8th inning. Kicking the pitch, breaking ball. Oh, the Ducks thought they had strike 3. Hump took a couple steps towards the dugout, but Frank Leparic does not make the call for strike 3. Now the count 1-2 on Castillo. Infield slightly shifted around to the right side here. Low off the bag at third is Puckett. Now time called. Diaz got the first 2 outs quickly in yesterday's game before he ran into trouble in that 7th inning. Here's the 1-2. Diaz deals and Castillo swings and misses for strike 3 in a dominant 8th inning for Amalio Diaz as he strikes out Keith Castillo and works a 1-2-3 inning here in the 8th. Led to the bottom of the 8th inning. Ducks trying to take their first lead of the game. Game remains tied at 10 apiece.
Hey fans, this is Reggie Corona and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island Home for News, Traffic and Weather, 1039 LI New Radio.
Beautify your patio, walkway, driveway, or pool surround with Nicoloc paving stones and walls. Nicoloc's specially formulated paver shield offers extra surface wear protection and color enhancement throughout the thickness of the paver. Paver shield guarantees that your pavers will look great for years to come. Bring home the elegance with Nicoloc. Visit the Nicoloc Design Center, Sunrise Highway, Lindenhurst, or Nicoloc.com.
Let Nicolac Pavers pave your way.
Hey, Ducks fans, do you want all the latest inside info on your 3-time Atlantic League champion Long Island Ducks? Then follow Ducks President and General Manager Michael Pfaff on Twitter at twitter.com/LIDucksGM. You'll find out first, right here, about player transactions, special stories, and so much more. You'll also be able to interact with Michael directly and get his take on all things Ducks baseball. Head to twitter.com/LIDucksGM today and make sure to follow along throughout the entire season. Ducks baseball. Good times every time.
Brian Morgana will stay into the ball game for the Lancaster Barnstormers as we move on to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Things have settled down here after a wild start. The Ducks and the Barnstormers are tied up at 10 apiece. And we'll see if Morgado can keep the Ducks off the scoreboard in the bottom of the 8th. Long Island will be sending the top 3 in their order to the plate, as it'll be Cody Puckett to start things off. Brian Sabatella to start things off. And then after Sabatella, he'll be followed by Prentice Redmond and Lou Ford. And if the inning continues after that, Cody Puckett would be the next hitter. So the Ducks with some of their better hitters coming up to the plate here to start off the 8th inning. And Long Island looking to get their first lead of the game. They've never led. Trailed 1-0, tied the game at 1. Fell behind then by a count of 9-1 before they rallied back to within 9-7. Fell behind 10-7 and then tied the game with 3 runs in the 5th. And since then, no runs have crossed. First pitch, Sabatella takes a curveball downstairs for ball 1. Sabatella has had a productive night. He has 2 hits in 4 at-bats, including a 2-run single in the 5th and a double and a run scored in the 1st. 1-0. He takes way up high for ball 2. In the 4th inning, had a fielder's choice groundout that produced a run. So 3 RBIs in the game for Sabatella, up to 9 now on the year. Ahead in the count here, 2-0 on Morgado. Lefty kicks and fires, and Sabatella takes low and outside ball 3. And boy, the Ducks would love a leadoff walk here from Morgado. With Sabatella's speed, the Ducks would get the go-ahead run at first, nobody out, and have arguably their fastest runner on the bases. 3-0. Their fastball's in at the knees for strike 1. Sabatella with 1 stolen base already in this game, now 6 on the year in 8 attempts. That leads the league. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Cut through a fastball. Good pitch there by Morgado and a chance for Sabatella to hit it, but cut right through it. So now the count full at 3-2 as Morgado's battled back from 3-0 down. See if he can get strike 3 here or if Sabatella will find his way on base. 3-2. And the fastball on the outside corner for strike 3. Sabatella couldn't believe the call. Boy, Frank Leparic was not calling anything on the corners early in the game, and now it seems like every pitch on the corner he is calling a strike. The Ducks frustrated because they are trying to adjust to his strike zone. And when earlier in the game, a lot of those pitches weren't being called, now all of a sudden they are being called. So Sabatella down on strikes. With 1 out here is Prentice Redmond to the plate. First pitch on the way, and Redmond takes low for ball 1. So after getting ahead 3-0, Sabatella unable to reach base. Here is Redmond, who is 2 for 4 with a pair of singles and a run scored. The 1-0. Morgado kicks and fires, and Redmond swings and pops it foul to the first base side. That'll even up the count at 1-1. Every Duck has picked up a hit tonight except two. John Griffin, who was 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch and a run. And Dylan Humpt, who was 0 for 4, but he did reach on a strikeout wild pitch and scored a run. 1-1. Swinging a pop-up foul again, this time to the first base side of the infield. And so the count 1-2. Morgado looking to retire the first two hitters here in the 8th inning after a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th with 2 strikeouts. And the 1-2 to Redmond. Breaking ball cut on and missed for strike 3. The Ducks offense again has gone quiet here. 4 strikeouts and 5 batters now for Morgado. Now with 2 outs, that's going to leave it up to Lou Ford.
Loyal Ducks center fielder, number 20, Lou Ford, number 20.
Ducks played 14 innings last night. And you can bet with the doubleheader tomorrow and Sunday's afternoon game, they do not want to have to play extras again, but unless they can get something going, very well could be a possibility. First pitch on the way, and Ford takes low. Ball 1 from Morgado. Ford had an RBI single in the first, a walk in the 4th. Aside from that, has fly to left and grounded to second. Again, a situation here where the Ducks have got a tie ball game, but unable to put together the rally or the big hit to take the lead. In fact, since that caught stealing by Prentice Redmond in the 5th, 9 straight batters have been retired by Barnstormer pitching. The 1-0, and Ford takes up high for ball 2. Similar to what we saw yesterday, where the Ducks offense had a couple big innings early, but then they went cold, and Ducks offense has gone cold here over the last few innings. 2-0, swinging a ground ball past the mound towards second, racing in, fielding it is the second baseman Ford, and the throw to first by Broad is in time for the out. So Ford grounds out. Ducks go 1-2-3 in the 8th, which means we will go to the 9th, and we are still tied at 10 apiece.
Hey fans, this is relief pitcher Bruce Kern, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's Home for News, Traffic, and Weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Start by attending a free MCU home buying seminar. Then speak with one of our loan specialists who will guide you through the loan process. With an affordable mortgage from Municipal Credit Union, Home Sweet Home will be a little sweeter. Call 212-238-3521 or visit nymcu.org to apply for your mortgage today. Municipal Credit Union. Strong, trusted, growing. Municipal Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender.
Enjoy the ultimate VIP fan experience at Bethpage Ballpark this season by taking in a Ducks game from the brand new Trout Town Fan Can. Presented by Roscoe Beer Company, the Fan Can is available for rental at all Ducks home games. It features 12 Dream Seat theater-style padded seats, beverage holders, an air-conditioned atmosphere, and an incredible view of the game. Packages are now available with food and beverage included. To reserve your Fan Can outing today, call the Ducks Group Sales Department at 631-940-3825. The Trout Town Fan Can at Bethpage Ballpark. Your VIP experience has arrived.
Spring into a new Honda at Huntington Honda and pay $59 a month for a new 2015 Honda Civic LX sedan. $59. So spring into Huntington Honda on Jericho Turnpike just east of Route 110 or HuntingtonHondaCars.com.
Huntington Honda, discover the difference.
Auto 24-month lease, total due at inception. Civic $31.90 includes bank fee, first month's payment, no security deposit. Taxes, DMV, title fees extra with excellent credit through HFS.
.10 game as we go to the 9th inning. Long Island Ducks and the Lancaster Barnstormers in the first of 4 this weekend. A game that has seen the Ducks not lead at any point, and the Barnstormers at one point hold a 9-1 advantage. And you give the Ducks credit for the way they fought back in this game to tie it, but the offense has gone ice cold over the last 3 innings. Lancaster hasn't done anything in those 3 innings either in terms of runs. They at least have had 3 base runners on walks, neither side has been able to really get anything going since that 6th inning. Or since the 5th inning, I should say. And now Lance Sawatsky will lead things off. The new pitcher for the Ducks is Hector Ambrose, who again I did not expect to see today, but he is in the ball game here in a tie game in the 9th inning. First pitch to Sawatsky is a fastball strike over the outside corner. The count goes to 0-1. Ambrose pitched 1 inning yesterday, a dominant inning of relief. He threw 21 pitches, 12 for strikes. And now the 0-1. Sawatsky takes low and outside to even the count. Sawatsky in this game was strikeout in the 2nd, reached on an error and scored in the 3rd. Struck out again in the 4th and drew a walk in the 6th. Bats from the left side. Ambrose gets the sign from Haupt. Now the 1-1. Lifted past the mound. Racing in Reggie Corona. He will field. The off-balance throw to first in time for the out. So Lance Sawatsky, the leadoff hitter, retired, and there's one away. Ambrose has been strong out of the bullpen early on for the Ducks, one of their best relievers this year. 6 games, he has given up just 1 earned run, 2 runs total in 6 innings of work, 5 hits and a walk with 8 strikeouts. And again, through a 1-2-3 inning yesterday when he came in to pitch in relief of Diaz in the 8th inning, struck out John Alonso and got groundouts from Wellington Dotel and Ryan Babineau. First pitch here to Michael Broad. Fastball popped up, first base side out of play. Count 0-1. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, Ducks will have their 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up. Cody Puckett, John Griffin, and Reggie Corona. Ducks are hoping that they will come up with the game tied. It'll be 0-1 here to Broad. Ambrose comes set, kicks and fires, and Broad takes a fastball low to even the count at 1-1. Season debut here for Broad. Had a single in the 2nd, a 2-run homer in the 3rd, walked and scored in the 5th, and then struck out in the 6th. 1-1 pitch. Ambrose deals, and Broad swings and fouls it off to the on-deck circle on the 3rd base side. And the count now 1-2. This is the 195th all-time meeting between the two teams. Ducks have a 100-94 lead. And here at Bethpage Ballpark, they are 49-45 against Lancaster. Barnstormers won the season series a year ago, though, 13-7. 1-2 on the way. It's low in the dirt on a fastball. Now leaving up to count at 2-2. Barnstormers swept a 3-game set here in May. And then the Ducks and Barnstormers both went to Lancaster to play 3 more over the weekend, and the Ducks took 2 of 3 there. So it'll be a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch to Broad. Yusuke Kajimoto in the on-deck circle. And the 2-2 on the way. Fastball right down the middle for strike 3. Not sure what Broad was looking for there, but a good pitch from Ambrose. That is the 2nd out of the inning. And for the Barnstormers now, 6 straight have been retired by Ducks pitching since the walk in the 7th. And again, Ducks pitching has not allowed a hit in the last 4 1/3 innings. Their last hit they gave up was the RBI triple in the 5th from Kajimoto. Since then, they have allowed 3 walks, but nothing further. And here is the aforementioned Kajimoto, who has 2 hits and 4 at-bats tonight. First pitch from Ambrose. Fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Kajimoto walked and scored in the 1st, struck out in the 2nd. A solo homer to left in the 3rd. The RBI triple in the 5th, and a strikeout in the 7th. From the stretch, the 0-1 from Ambrose. Kicks and deals, and Kajimoto takes the fastball that missed inside, even the count at 1-1. Kajimoto with 2 hits and 4 at-bats, now 11 of 56 on the year. Struggling in the early going, but hoping for him. He is hoping that this will be a breakout game for him. 1-1 from Ambrose. Lifted in the air to center field. Fairly well hit. Racing back is Lou Ford. He has room, though. He'll make the catch. And Hector Ambrose does his job by inducing the fly out to center field. So the last 4 relief pitchers have combined to throw 5 scoreless innings for the Ducks. And we will head to the bottom of the 9th. The Ducks will try and waddle off with a win. The Ducks and the Barnstormers tied at 10 apiece.
Hey fans, this is pitcher Ian Marshall, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 1039 LI News Radio.
James Simmons is going back. He is looking up, and on in the park night, that one is gone and reaches a kennel in Central Islip.
That was another home run for the Ducks. And Duck fans, what's more fun than a home run that helps the Ducks win a game? How about a homer that helps the community win? Chappie's Funeral Home and the Long Island Ducks have once again teamed up for the Chappie's Home Run Challenge. If the Ducks hit 100 homers this season, Chappie's Funeral Home will donate $5,000 to the Quackerjack Foundation. So every time a Ducks hitter goes deep this season, watch for the Chappie's Challenge home run count on the scoreboard. And if we reach 100, we're all a winner. Chappie's Funeral Home, where caring for others is a family tradition.
Can't get enough of the Long Island Ducks? Well, now you can get even more inside info on your favorite hometown team through Facebook and Twitter. The Ducks are constantly updating fans through social media with scores, transactions, ballpark promotions, and much more. You can even win great prizes. All you'll need to do is make a free account on Facebook and Twitter, and then visit us at facebook.com/LIDucks and twitter.com/LIDucks. Think you're Long Island's biggest Ducks fan? Get connected now.
Long Island Ducks, Lancaster Barnstormers tied at 10 apiece as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Long Island looking for their first waddle-off win of the season. And they'll have Cody Puckett, John Griffin, and Ricci Corona coming to the plate against left-hander Brian Morgado, who is going to stay in for his 3rd inning of relief work. And so far to this point, he's retired all 6 hitters he has faced, striking out 4 of them and getting a line out and a ground out from the other 2. So we'll see what the Ducks can do this time against Morgado. As Puckett digs in, 1 for 4 on the night with a 2-run single. And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball, grounded slowly to third. Charging in Bortnick, bare hands, he'll have no play, and the Ducks get the winning run on the leadoff here in the 9th inning. A little dribbler up the third base line by Puckett, and Bortnick had no play. And so the leadoff man is on in Cody Puckett, and that will bring up John Griffin. Well, Puckett has good speed on the base pass. Griffin has no sacrifice bunts in his career. So I cannot imagine Kevin Baez asking him to lay one down here. He is 0 for 3 though in this game, has been hit by a pitch and scored a run. Heavy fog rolling back in. First pitch on the way. Griffin will swing and line it in the right field. Down the line. If it stays fair, it's trouble. It will be a fair ball. Into the corner. Puckett on his way to third. The right fielder, Cavazos Galvis, fires it in. Puckett coming to the plate. He will score. It's a game-winning RBI double down the right field line for John Griffin. The first waddle-off win of the season for the Ducks as they come back from 8 runs down and defeat the Barnstormers 11-10. In the opener of this 4-game set. What a win for the Long Island Ducks. Their largest comeback win of the season. Down 8 runs early in the game. It seemed like they were on their way to a 5th consecutive loss. But a leadoff infield single for Cody Puckett and an RBI double down the right field line for John Griffin. And the Ducks come from behind, a waddle off with an 11-10 victory. And boy, does that have to feel good for the Ducks, who were in desperate need of some decent starting pitching tonight to keep the bullpen fresh. They didn't get it, and they fell behind 9-1, but they never said that they were out. They scored 6 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and they get the game-winning run, 2 batters into the 9th inning. Well, don't go anywhere. The post-game show is coming up next. We are going to recap this game and hand out the Player of the Game award. John Griffin comes through with the opposite field RBI double, and the Ducks waddle off with an 11-10 victory.
Hey fans, this is Kevin Baez, manager of the Long Island Ducks, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio.
The results are in. Thousands of PSEG Long Island customers participated in our energy efficiency programs, saving nearly $35 million. Being energy efficient helps our environment, too. Together, we've eliminated 21,000 cars worth of emissions in 2014. Thank you, Long Island. We're all making a difference. Discover how we're improving every day to bring you better service at www.psegliny.com/efficiency.
Baseball fans, the Long Island Ducks mobile app has officially arrived. Powered by Clear Vision Apps, it's your one-stop shop for all things Ducks baseball. Buy tickets straight from your mobile device. Receive game status updates with push notifications. Check out up-to-the-minute news and scores and interact with the Ducks on social media. Best of all, it's free. Download the Ducks mobile app today by visiting the App Store on your Apple-powered device or Google Play on your Android-powered device. The Long Island Ducks mobile app, with you wherever you flock to. Well, if the Long Island Ducks ever needed a win, especially one like that, it was for tonight. The Ducks found a way despite falling behind by 8 runs in the 4th inning, and they rally back for an 11-10 come-from-behind victory. We'll have to go through the archives to try and find out the last time the Ducks ever came back from 8 runs down to win the game, if ever. But boy, they came through tonight and rallied back to support Eric Neeson, who did not have good stuff tonight. The offense putting together its best offensive output of the season with 11 runs and 15 hits to win it 11-10. Well, let's recap this game. We'll do our best to do it. It was really one of the most wild games you will ever see. But it started off with the Barnstormers scoring in the first inning against Eric Neeson, who walked the first 2 hitters. And after a strikeout, an RBI single to right by Henry Wrigley gave Lancaster a 1-0 lead. In the bottom of the first inning, Brian Sabatella opened with a double against Brian Evans, the starter for the Barnstormers. And after a ground out by Prentice Redmond, Lou Ford singled to left to score Sabatella from third, and that made it a 1-1 game. It would stay 1-1 until the 3rd inning, and that was Lancaster's big inning against Eric Neeson, who really did not have it in that 3rd inning. After getting the initial out, my mistake. I was looking at the wrong side. He gave up back-to-back walks to open the inning to Tyler Bortnick and Blake Galen, so the second time in the game already that he had given up back-to-back walks to start the inning. Henry Wrigley then struck out swinging, but then David Cooper drew a walk. So the 5th walk of the game allowed by Neeson loaded up the bases, and that brought up Brian Cavazos Galvez. And on the first pitch from Neeson, he hit it out to left field for a grand slam, his 2nd home run of the season, now up to 9 RBIs. And Lancaster took a 5-1 lead. And after a ground out, Lance Sawatsky reached when the pitcher Eric Neeson dropped the ball thrown by John Griffin as he was going over to cover first on the grounder. And so on the drop ball, the E1, the inning continued. Michael Broad followed with a 2-run home run to left, his first of the year. And Yusuke Kajimoto followed with a solo home run, his first of the year. And so all of a sudden, 7 runs had scored in the inning, only 4 of them earned, and Lancaster had a 8-1 lead after 3. They would add another run in the 4th inning, as with 2 out, Frank DiGiulio Jr. hit Brian Cavazos Galvez, gave up a double to right to Keith Castillo, and then a pass ball by Dylan Hoppt allowed Cavazos Galvez to score. And so Lancaster had a commanding 9-1 lead after 3.5 innings, and it looked like the Ducks were on their way to a 3rd blowout loss in their last 4 games and a 5th straight defeat overall. But the Ducks would not go down without a fight. And they rallied back in the bottom of the 4th inning. With 1 out, John Griffin was hit by a pitch. Reggie Corona followed with an RBI triple into the right center field gap. 2nd straight game he has picked up a triple, or 2nd game this week he has picked up a triple. And so the Ducks were on the scoreboard. They had closed at that point to within 9-2. Dylan Hoppt struck out swinging next, but he reached when the ball couldn't be handled by Keith Castillo. It was a wild pitch. And runners at first and third, 1 out. Eric Komatsu was next. He had a ground rule double, that one hopped the wall in right. So on the RBI, Corona scored. Ducks had 2nd and 3rd, and it was in a 9-3 game. Dan Lyons followed with an RBI single to left that scored Hoppt and made it 9-4. And Brian Sabatella an RBI fielder's choice in the next batter as Komatsu scored, and so it was 9-5. Prentice Redmond followed with a single to left. Lou Ford drew a walk, and that brought up Cody Puckett, who delivered a 2-run single to center. He had started the whole inning by popping out to second. So on the 2-run base hit to center field, the Ducks had a couple more, and they had closed to within 9-7. John Griffin would strike out to end the inning, and then in the top of the 5th inning, Lancaster would get one of the runs back on a walk to Michael Braun and a ribby triple by Yusuke Kajimoto. That would spell the end for Frank DiGiulio Jr. Carmine Giardina came in with a runner at third and nobody out, and he retired Bortnick on a foul pop-up, Galen on a ground-out, and Henry Wrigley on a fly-out to left, and he was able to get out of the jam and keep it a 3-run game, and that would be large because in the bottom of the 5th inning, with Evans still on the mound, Corona led off the inning with a single to left, and he would go from first to third when Keith Castillo tried to pick him off at first and threw it down the right field line. So the Ducks had the runner at third, no out. Hop popped to second, but Eric Komatsu followed with an RBI single to left that scored Corona and made it a 10-8 game. Dan Lyons then followed with a single to right, and both runners ended up moving up on a wild pitch. So 2 in scoring position for Brian Sabatella, who was facing Pete Andrelzik, who had been summoned into the game, and Sabatella delivered the game-tying 2-run single to center field, and all of a sudden, the game was tied at 10 apiece. The Ducks got another single from Prentice Redmond, and so they had the tying run at second base, the go-ahead run, at second base with only 1 out. They tried the double steal. Sabatella stole third, but Prentice Redmond was caught stealing at second, and Lou Ford grounded to second to end the threat, and so we remained at 10-10. The bullpens finally calmed down at that point. In the 6th inning, Giardino walked 2 amidst a power outage delay that lasted 10 minutes, but ultimately was able to get through the inning, striking out Broad to end the threat. And then in the 7th, Patrick Kreider allowed a 2-out walk, but no runs. In the 6th inning, the Ducks went in order. The 7th inning, the Ducks went in order. And the 8th inning, the Ducks went in order. And in the 8th inning for the Barnstormers, they went 1-2-3 against Amalio Diaz. So we would go to the 9th with the game still tied at 10. Hector Ambrose came in the top of the 9th and retired the side 1-2-3. And that set the stage for the bottom of the 9th inning. Morgado was kept in the game despite 2 righty hitters coming to the plate. And Cody Puckett started the inning with a little dribbler to third. He reached on the infield single. And after he reached on the infield single, John Griffin came up and hit a double into the right field corner that would score Puckett all the way from first with the winning run. And the Ducks picked up their first waddle-off win of the year, 11-10 over the Barnstormers. The final totals tonight for the Ducks: 11 runs, 15 hits, 1 error. They left 6 on base. For the Barnstormers, 10 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. They left 9. The winning pitcher is Hector Ambrose, who threw a perfect 9th inning. He improves to 1-0. Brian Morgado, after retiring the first 6 hitters, gives up 2 straight hits to start the 9th inning, and he falls to 0-1 on the year with the loss. No save. The game took 3 hours and 21 minutes in front of a crowd of 4,026 here at Bethpage Ballpark. Time to hand out tonight's Player of the Game award, and there's really so many different choices we could give it to. Tonight, I think we're going to give co-Player of the Game honors to Brian Sabatella and Eric Komatsu. Griffin, of course, had the game-winning hit, but Sabatella was strong at the plate, 2 for 5, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and he extended his on-base streak now to 9 consecutive games, the longest of the year by a Duck. Eric Komatsu, who really has struggled early going this season, picked up 3 hits and 4 at-bats with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. So Komatsu and Sabatella are our players of the game tonight as the Ducks waddle off with an 11-10 victory over the Barnstormers. We'll take a break, and when we come back, the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we'll wrap things up from Bethpage Ballpark, where tonight the Ducks rally back, and they defeat Lancaster by a count of 11-10.
Hey fans, this is right-handed pitcher Mickey Janis, and you're listening to Ducks Baseball on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
Spring into a new Honda at Huntington Honda and pay $59 a month for a new 2015 Honda Civic LX sedan. $59. So spring into Huntington Honda on Jericho Turnpike just east of Route 110 or HuntingtonHondaCars.com.
Huntington Honda, discover the difference.
Auto 24-month lease, total due at inception. Civic $31.90 includes bank fee, first month's payment, no security deposit. Taxes, DMV, title fees extra with excellent credit through HFS.
Family fun every time.
Beautiful evening for baseball.
Big action every time.
He reaches up, it's gone!
Great value every time.
And the Ducks have won it 7-1.
The Ducks schedule is loaded with new promotions this season, and with an average ticket price of just $10 and free parking, there is no better value on Long Island. For game times and tickets, visit liducks.com. Long Island Ducks Baseball. Good times every time.
The Ducks trying to break a 4-game losing skid tonight, and they do it with their best win of the year coming from a 9-1 deficit to defeat the Barnstormers 11-10 and take the first game of this 4-game series. Definitely a win that the Ducks needed to get started here and end that negative feeling that they had from losing the 4 games in a row. So we'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard tonight. In York, the Blue Crabs with a 9-7 win over the York Revolution. In relief, Keeler got the win to improve to 1-0. Penny took the loss, fell to 1-1. And Hamron picked up his 3rd save. Molina hit his 4th home run of the year, 3rd in 2 days, and Frawley hit his 1st of the season for the Blue Crabs as they win at 9-7 over the Revolution. As for the River Sharks, they win at home 3-2 over the Sugarland Skeeters. Click in relief gets the win to improve to 2-0. Parr the loss fell to 0-1, and Gorgon picked up his 4th save of the year. Former Duck Ryan Strebe with a home run, his 1st of the season for the River Sharks in the win. One game still going on right now. They're in the bottom of the 10th. In Bridgewater, New Jersey, the Somerset Patriots have just won in walk-off fashion on a sac fly by Thomas Neal. And so the Patriots will win it 1-0 in the 10th inning. Curarte is going to end up getting the win for the Somerset. Baker the loss for the Bluefish. No save for Somerset again. Neal had the only RBI of the game. The two teams combining for just 11 hits in 10 innings. But it's the Patriots 1, the Bluefish nothing. As for the Yankees, they are holding a slim 5-4 lead through 8 innings at Yankee Stadium over the Baltimore Orioles. Starting the game for New York was Adam Warren. Andrew Miller is on to try and nail down the save. Miguel Gonzalez started for the Orioles, and Zach Britton was their most recent pitcher. Brian McCann hit his 3rd home run of the season for the New York Yankees. And also picking up 2 RBIs on the day aside from McCann was Carlos Beltran. Manny Machado and Delman Young had RBIs for the Orioles. Jimmy Paredes had 2 runs batted in. New York Mets fall 3-1 in Philadelphia tonight. Cole Hamels was the starter for the Phillies, got the win to improve to 2-3. The loser was Matt Harvey, who falls to 5-1, and the save went to Jonathan Papelbon, his 6th of this season. Ryan Howard hit his 6th home run of the year for the Phillies in the game, as the Mets drop the opener in Philadelphia. And just being texted to me by several different people, I have my mother texting me yes with 50 million capital letters. I have our engineer back in our Ronkonkoma studio, Zach Johnston, in capital letters, texting not dead yet. And my girlfriend Katie texting a whole bunch of red light emojis, as that all signals the New York Rangers winning tonight to keep their season alive. 2-1 in overtime on a goal from the captain, Ryan McDonough. And so the Rangers find a way to keep their season alive. They win Game 5 at the 9:37 mark of overtime. Ryan McDonough from Derek Stepan and Jesper Foss, and that was made possible after the Rangers scored a tying goal late in the game with under 2 minutes to go, Chris Kreider. And so the Rangers, who came back from 3-1 down last year in the second round to defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins, come back here in this game after falling behind 1-0, and they defeat the Capitals 2-1. So that'll set up Game 6 on Sunday evening down in Washington, D.C. That'll do it for the out-of-town scoreboard tonight. These two teams will continue their series tomorrow. A quick turnaround, day-night doubleheader here at Bethpage Ballpark tomorrow. 1:05 game to start things off, a 7-inning game. And it'll be right-hander Bruce Kern making the spot start for the Ducks. He is no record and a 1.68 ERA out of the bullpen for Long Island. So far this year, he's made 6 relief appearances. He will get the start, and he'll be opposed by righty Brian Woodall of the Barnstormers, who is 0-1 with a 9.45 ERA. He has appeared in 5 games out of the bullpen. So these teams will go bullpen by committee in the day game tomorrow. In the night game, the Ducks will go with right-handed pitcher Mark Rogers, who will make his first start coming off the inactive list since he was injured in a start down in Southern Maryland on April the 30th. So Rogers will go. He's 0-1 with a 4.69 ERA. He'll be opposed by righty Marcus Walden, who was just signed by the Barnstormers. He'll make his season debut. That game will begin at 6:35. During the day game, it's a peanut-free day, so no peanuts going to be sold at the ballpark to help those suffering with peanut allergies attend a game. And it's also the first 1,000 fans going to receive a 2015 Ducks magnet schedule, courtesy of the Quackerjack Foundation. Night game, a pyrotechnico fireworks extravaganza will follow the game presented by Astoria Bank. So it should be a great day at the ballpark tomorrow. 2 separate admissions, but a chance to watch the Ducks and the Barnstormers play after Long Island rallies from a 9-1 deficit here tonight, and they win it 11-10 in waddle-off fashion over the Barnstormers. That's going to do it for us here at Bethpage Ballpark tonight. Big thank you to my engineer back in our Ronkonkoma studios, who is doubly happy tonight because of the Long Island Ducks win and the New York Rangers win. Zach Johnston pushing all the buttons, doing a great job as always. Once again, the final score was the Long Island Ducks 11 And the Barnstormers 10, a walk-off win for the Ducks, their first of the year. We invite you to join us for our next Ducks broadcast, which will be tomorrow night. Tomorrow, I should say, during the day. Ducks will play a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. Game 1 can be heard on the Ducks official YouTube channel, youtube.com/DucksBaseball. And the night game can be heard there as well as on the Ducks flagship radio station, 103.9 FM, LI News Radio. I'll have all the play-by-play for you here from the Duck Pond. My name is Michael Pollack. Thanks so much for spending your Friday night with me. I hope you enjoyed this ridiculously wild and crazy game here, but ultimately a Ducks win. Have a great rest of your Friday night. We'll do it all over again on Saturday. We'll play 2 here at the Duck Pond between the Ducks and the Barnstormers. Good night and so long from Central Islip, New York.